What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And I'm Diggins.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woohoo! Woohoo! This week is the end of 2022. It's dead, you guys. They got it. We finally
dead, and
managed
we have
to get
killed it.
That's right. And it is time to do the 2022 autopsy / the 2023 looking at a sonogram. Yeah, I don't know what the opposite of this is, but that
ultrasound.
Yeah, we're gonna plan the murder of 2023.
I was gonna say I don't think those are exactly opposites, but it's fine.
It's exactly opposite. That's why they're on opposite sides of the hospital. It's like, you know, everything should be organized from where are you on a scale of sonogram to autopsy. But either way, you guys, speaking of things, there's a news. We'll do a real quick news. We were talking about this right before the show started. There's rumors that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be back. It's been 2 years or whatever. Barely any time has passed.
But he's dead.
But he is dead. So
in fact, I don't think it has been the longest he's been without being in one of these movies yet.
That's true.
I think it must, right?
No, I mean, there was a while there where he was only appearing in the Avengers by the end, right?
Yeah.
So, like...
yeah, what's the gap from, like, Iron Man 3 to Ultron?
A year.
What's
really it?
What's the gap between Ultron and Civil War?
1 year. So it's the Civil War to Infinity War gap. I'm trying to think if there's anything there that, like... well, you got Spider-Man in the middle, so that I feel like there was a time him and him and Evans were in a movie every year pretty much forever.
All right, fair enough.
So we're back. I think that maybe is why things have been a little weird in the last 3 years, is because Iron Man hasn't been in movies anymore. So the viruses have gotten a little bit more, brave. So we're gonna put him back into movies, and maybe they'll calm down. That would be pretty cool.
That's why COVID happened.
That's right.
Once we've got Robert Downey Jr. back, COVID will just disappear, just like all of our brave, now allowed on Twitter truth tellers have been telling us.
Exactly. Are you guys excited for him to be back in these movies that he was barely out of?
Yeah, like, sure, why not?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm excited. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what he will bring to the table that it's like I didn't think that these movies were missing Robert Downey Jr. I think they were missing stakes and what they need? They need a solid villain. That's what they need. Unless he's the new villain, then maybe it is what they needed.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he's evil.
He's been that before. It's totally happened. With the superior Iron Man white suit thing.
I thought you meant Robert Downey Jr. has been a villain before, like in real life when he was on all those drugs.
Exactly.
Diggins, how dare you make the statement that just because someone is on drugs it means they are a bad person? That's very unwoken bad of you.
It's not doing the drugs that made him a bad person. It's what he did when he was on the drugs.
He was under the influence. It wasn't his fault.
I don't know that it works that way.
Exactly. Does. And also he what was I gonna say? Oh, it would make sense if they were gonna bring him back as evil Tony Stark, because sometimes he's related to Kang. Not really, but like sometimes. Yeah. But also it really seemed like, based on everything that we could possibly think of, evil Tony Stark was gonna be the leader of the Illuminati, and then he wasn't. So that would explain why he was not in it. It's because they were like, "No, we got to save him for later."
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he'll be an AI. I think that's what they did with the Ironheart original story. Was he was like Jarvis and a little, but he was like a hologram AI too. So you could have a full suit with just a big blue head of him, and that more or less works. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's what we'll get.
Okay.
Yeah. But you guys, I don't know. Is that it? That's probably it, right?
Yeah, it's like that time of the year that we get little news, right? Because it's, we're all we're
Nobody's
all on the holidays, and the Rock isn't just dropping earnings calls or whatever. Like it's
yeah, he's hibernating.
It's a time off. You're not even getting new podcasts this time of year.
That's
as far
true.
As I'm concerned.
You're getting lazy Q&A ones. Speaking of that, you guys, we have some questions we got to answer in our episode today. But this isn't a pre-taped one. It's a live one.
Yeah. It's all live. You're getting it fresh, hot off the presses.
Now you might be thinking, didn't I download an episode? And this isn't a live stream or a feed or anything, and that's where you're wrong. You downloaded a link to a live stream that is now being streamed directly to you, the listener, right now. Craig.
Yeah. Put some pants on, Craig. Now, I know it's weird that you would put pants on in the shower, but do it. Put some pants on.
Also, everyone knows that whole, like, putting your iPhone in, like, a plastic bag so you can use it in the shower, like, that's inevitably going to get your phone broken. You know?
It's not. No.
I wouldn't mess with that.
I mean, not to lead anybody astray, aren't most phones waterproof these days anyway?
It depends.
I wouldn't test it.
I mean, from what I understand, because I want to say it's Japan, but like kids in Japan love phones in the shower so much. Almost all phones are.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
I think that's what I've heard, but
I know that people in Japan love flip phones, and that's why we're getting flip touchscreens again.
Oh, thank God. It's so cool. You ever see those commercials when it's like, why should you buy this phone? Because sometimes it's hard to balance your phone for a selfie. But what if instead your phone balanced itself?
Or more specifically, a TikTok video.
Yeah. Like, has there ever been a dumber use case for, like, either buy this phone nobody likes or get a pop socket or just use a book to line it up? Like, it's just so stupid. But
I'm telling you, it was to make TikTok videos. That's the exclusive use case for that phone is the TikTok video phone. I'm telling you.
Listen, we can all pretend that there's some practical reason for it, but the reason flip phones are coming back is because everybody wants to have that really satisfying slam a phone shut to end a call.
We did lose that. We did lose that.
You can't hang up on someone satisfyingly anymore. That's why in movies, when someone is trying to end a call and they're mad, they like throw the phone and break it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's not a good way to end a phone call mad.
That's a good point.
That's the best theory, Diggins. I thank you for like putting that out there.
So that's cool.
That's true. I am.
He is a good person.
Yeah, I think Diggins is like a great, cool, awesome person.
I haven't done any major crimes ever.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you've never done blackface, as far as we know.
That I haven't. To be clear, I have not.
I have not been with him for his entire life, every minute of the day, so I cannot guarantee that. I think it's likely that he is not, but
you can't put this on me, DJ. Type. You're the one surprised you haven't. You can't put this on me.
Speaking of that, you guys, we got to recap the year and stuff.
We do have to recap the year and stuff.
We're going to recap the last year, and we're going to look at our predictions, and then we're also just going to talk about the whole thing, and then we're going to look ahead to 2023, a year that I didn't think we'd make it to, but here we are. Knock on wood. Still got a couple days. So how are we doing this, fellas?
Well, we have our categories from last year, and we have some like a relatively systematic way of how it shaked out that we could review, right? Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. Like, as has been made evident many times before, we don't prepare. We just
never
hit record and then see what happens.
You're getting the raw. Well, like we said, this is a live stream, right?
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
We streamed live directly to your ears right now, so you're going to get the raw, unfiltered. We can't edit this because it's live.
And we should say, very helpful listener of the podcast, Roger, friend of the pod, best friend of the pod, has very helpfully laid out an entire document recapping our predictions from last year. So really, this is very easy for us to do.
I mean, basically employee of the pod. He gets an equal share of the profits along with the three of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think, but I do think we have to, there are some pod members that have like gotten in the way of pod progress, like his cat or dog. What is it? Hold on, I'm trying to open Twitter so I can make this joke properly. But
listeners, you might not know, we talked about this before we started this live stream, but Nando has been banned from Twitter, so he has to use one of his burner accounts.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
He called Elon Musk a corn cob.
Yeah. And how dare you?
It was a dog.
You would post all of his assassination coordinates, all of them.
I mean, if I posted every single coordinate, I would post, technically I'd post everyone's. So that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I looked it up. It is a dog. It's Rosie, and she was trying to delay the work he was trying to do. So, thank God we were able to overcome that. And by we, I mean Roger. But yeah, we have a great rundown of what we said last year. Some correct things, some less correct things. We're gonna go over that. We're gonna talk about what actually should have been the things that we said last year. And then we're going to talk about things this year and see if those make sense in the future. And we will find out in 1 year if this is still going. And by this, I mean like the world. Like I said, never have a ton of faith.
Yeah, it's not a guaranteed proposition.
Not a done deal. But we have some. Where do we want to start? We want to start with the first of the predictions.
Yeah,
reveal them.
Yeah, so let's go through this our prediction sheet. So,
oh boy,
what's our first category?
It's what dies in 2022.
Yeah.
So okay, so this one we each had 3, although Diggins had one that is missing from the tapes, which is great. And do you want to just read through them and just talk? Well, I'll read through each one and we'll kind of talk about it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, first one. Gordon Rogers. This is DJ. Do you remember what you said?
I had the sheet up, so yeah.
Okay,
I actually did review all this. I did the minimal amount of prep work before the pod, but yes, I said that Game of Thrones would die in 2022.
And you got an incorrect for that one.
Yeah.
And according to Roger, it was not Bran who had the best story. It may have actually been the Targaryens. The original run of Game of Thrones will forever go down as one of the biggest TV finale final season disasters of all time, but audience seem to love watching the rise and fall of the Targaryens in House of the Dragon. If anything, Game of Thrones was reborn this year like Jon Snow. Therefore, I'm awarding DJ an Elon point for being terribly off. We'll get to the Elon points. There's a lot coming. But it was, but yeah, I was listening to this because I listened to the pod from last year.
Oh wow, you did the most prep of all.
Yeah, that's a lot of prep.
I did, and I was curious before this came in. I was like, I want to see if any of them were right. And this one to me, obviously all our movie ones are bad, but this one to me, I was surprised at how much it seemed like this could have bombed, and still does feel like it was a huge hit, but also if it bombed, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Right, like I was close to being right, but. There was a possibility that I was close to being right, but in fact, I was the most wrong.
Now, I haven't listened, so I could be wrong, but I believe in the episode, I was like, I mean, that's already true. That's not even like a bold prediction.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
And I was wrong. But you're the one who made the official prediction, so you're more wrong.
Right. And George R. R. Martin is still alive, so that was also
something
that came up as a way for Game of Thrones to die. So, yeah, wrong on both counts. It's a shame because, well, I guess neither of you guys, we just talked about this, watch House of Dragons, correct?
Nope.
I started and Michelle wants to finish it, but yeah, I didn't finish. Just started, so.
DJ never finishes.
Mm-hmm. Hey! Oh.
So, like, yeah, I don't love it. It's not that great, but it is...
Even, like, the good things I've heard about that show are, like, it's pretty good, No one's, like, enthusiastic.
Yeah. I think that's... It's it's fine. Like, it's not, it's not terrible. It's expensive, and there's good actors in it. But if it went away tomorrow, I would shed nary a tear. I feel like that's kind of how most people feel about it, especially because you had the Lord of the Rings show this year. So it's like,
yeah,
there's enough of that going around, and Willow, obviously. But
I do feel like, to the point of DJ being wrong about this, people did generally like House of the Dragon more than the Lord of the Rings show.
Oh yeah, I was super wrong.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Diggins, for 2022, what dies in 2022? You had two guesses. One was World of Warcraft, and one was Crypto, which is from the Missing Tapes. According to Roger, World of Warcraft is still the most popular MMO, according to a website. So it didn't die, and it only decreased a small percentage in terms of active users. Half of an Elon point for Diggins. As far as the other guess about cryptocurrency from the forever missing pod of nitpicking lore, it definitely took a hit to the chest, but the drop over the year was not even the biggest drop for crypto. That was in 2018, which it rebounded from. Heck, this isn't even the biggest crypto platform scandal. It's just the one that affected the most Americans. That also happened in 2018 with BitConnect. So if crypto died in 2022, it also died in 2018, and that doesn't seem accurate for something dying.
Now, I would quibble with this a little bit, in that they might be true by the numbers that this isn't the biggest crash crypto has ever had, but I feel like the narrative has really turned on crypto in a way that wasn't true in the past.
I agree with Diggins. I'm not a crypto expert, and Roger probably knows what he's talking about. But I would say, from going to the Super Bowl crypto ads to one of the last big crypto stories of 2022 being, the FTX founder, being arrested, I do feel like the narrative around crypto is like, oh, this thing is not to be trusted. And, I'm sure Bitcoin, is doing fine overall, and as it always will, because I think Bitcoin probably does have that immortal status. But I do think some of these other cryptocurrencies, like these shitcoins, are kind of dead.
Let's be clear, Bitcoin also a scam, and also mainly used for scams and crimes.
Yes.
Well, and also, I just looked up Bitcoin, down 65% in the last year. So not doing so hot. Even on the 5-year, which is like, a lot of these cryptos started super low and then they got higher. So like you'd expect it would make money. It's down 3% over the last 5 years. So like even Bitcoin not doing super well. And like, yeah, there's the other ones like Ethereum that I think are even more volatile. So like, yeah, no crypto. I agree. Crypto's not necessarily dead, but it is not doing great.
If this was Diggins' only prediction, I would have been like, Diggins, you won this category. Like, it was the original,
I'm okay.
Oh, here we go.
I'm okay with not saying I'm correct. I'm just saying I think there's more of an argument that is being implied here.
Okay,
perhaps.
fair enough.
I mean, and you can make the prediction again this year. Totally.
That's true.
That's
true.
It's an option. Last one for me. I said the Arrow CW verse, and this is our first correct. Our first actually correct prediction is something that died in 2022, so Nando wins the category by default. But Nando really nailed it with this one. Cancellation galore throughout the year, with the final nail in the coffin coming when Khan was elected. Yeah, so, I mean, it is done. There's no way any of that sticks around, which is great, because most of those shows were not very good anymore. But, yeah.
But now it's no longer canon that Gorilla Grodd went back in time to kill Barack Obama.
I mean, when the multiverse comes into play in, 10 years to fix everything that they broke with bad movies later, then we can, go back to that. But I think, like, yeah, I'm looking at the list of shows now. There's only Superman and Lois and Flash, and I think Flash is on its last season. There's so many of these shows. Too many, if you ask me. But they never stopped.
Nope,
they never did, except for they did this year, so that's cool. So yeah, I'd say stop the count if you ask me. We got it, boys. 1,
you
0,
definitely
0.
get this one. This is congrats to you, good sir.
Yeah, it's been dying for a while, and it did die. I think last year I also said Snyderverse was my death, and that was also correct then. It's way more correct now. But yeah, you just bet on DC things dying, you'll probably do okay. DJ, would you like to read the winner of 2022?
Yeah, so winner of 2022, I'll go with my prediction first, which was the Lord of the Rings show, which was a double down from what I thought would win 2021. So I get to be doubly wrong. DJ doubled down on his winner of 2021 to be his winner of 2022. And even though it was released this year, it is tough to say it was a winner. It isn't on any year-end best TV show list, and more of a hit being thrown in on your face every time you went to use Amazon for a few months. Absolutely true, as someone who, occasionally watching Prime Video for Thursday Night Football. So that's a big L for me.
Yeah, I forget. Did any of us watch this?
I did. I watched the whole thing, and it's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah,
it's
certainly
fine.
not a winner, right?
Yeah.
It's certainly not going to be topping any of my lists of best TV shows of this year.
Yeah, and that's a rarefied list. So
It's the only fully correct list.
And this is why, like, if this was Game of Thrones, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I think it won, like,
relative
the House of
to
Dragon so big, but-
expectations.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
true. Yeah.
So that is the difference between those two shows, I guess. So
and
it's fair.
we will talk about what won 2022. So
Yeah,
we'll have an opportunity for that.
Yeah,
discussion.
that's the thing, DJ. It's like you did this exactly backwards, because
did, right?
I wouldn't say that House of the Dragon fully succeeded, but it certainly didn't fail.
Right.
And I wouldn't say that Lord of the Rings failed, but it certainly didn't succeed.
Yeah, it's true. Well, there you have it. Next we have Diggins. This one's pretty easy. You had Mission Impossible 7 as your winner of 2022. Unfortunately for Diggins, his movie was not released this year. Very hard to win a year when you aren't there.
Well, listen, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So maybe you could double down for 2023.
The good news is my original pick also did not come out this year, so I wasn't robbed of anything.
What was your original pick?
My original pick was Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I guess good all around then. Nando. So that's two incorrects for me and Diggins, and then Nando, you had Moon Knight. Unfortunately, also an incorrect. Moon Knight went from obscurity to a thing. And got more cultural awareness once it was greenlit. Similar to Lord of the Rings, however, it didn't crack the top TV shows of 2022 in popularity or discourse. Neither Moon Knight nor Lord of the Rings won 2022 as a popular TV show, let alone won the year outright. Therefore, I think this category has no winner.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Moon Knight was fine, also.
It was fine. If it was like, I don't think any of the Marvel shows could have won 2022.
Maybe She-Hulk. I think there's a solid argument for She-Hulk.
I wish, but
Obviously, we should have picked Andor.
Oh my god, yeah, that would have been a solid pick.
And I mean, yeah, I think, like, I don't know. There's some shows I think you could say that won 2022, but yeah, none of these kinds of shows.
Yeah.
Shows for like adults, you know.
Yeah, not kids.
Not for babies like us.
Not for little baby children who like to watch animation.
Yeah.
I remembered this too. You talked about Mission Impossible 7. Did you guys see they like put out a making of one of the stunts from the movie the other day?
I think so.
Movie's not even out.
Vaguely familiar. Yeah.
But they're like, here's what it's going to be. Crazy.
Well, that's like the main appeal of those movies at this point, was that Tom Cruise
honestly,
will do something that one day will get him killed.
It's like going to a monster truck show. Like, it's insane. But yeah, it's going to happen.
hell
and
yeah.
I haven't watched the video because I don't want to be spoiled, but I think I kind of get the gist of the stunt, and it seems cool. But yeah, I don't know. Diggins, would you like to talk about the biggest bomb? Oh, real quick, what's the score so far?
Nando 1, Terrell 0. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Will that maintain, though? Let's find out. So the next one was biggest bomb of 2022. These were our predictions for what would not do very well. Okay, some of us had some pretty interesting answers for this one.
Well, you know, you can't lose points, so what are you going to do?
That's true. No matter how much it feels like you should.
Yep. What one? No. Which one's next, Diggins?
So on biggest bomb of 2022, which is what we're talking about now. First of all, we had DJ's predictions.
Yes, we did.
DJ predicted that Jurassic World Dominion would be a bomb, and then Nuclear taked that Lightyear would be a bomb, which I dispute being a nuclear take, but...
Yeah, me too.
No. That is certainly a nuclear take. It had the Toy Story coattails. Everyone loved Toy Story 4. I can't believe I'm defending this twice. It was, like... given the Disney stamp of approval for, like, this will be good. And, like, I don't think there was any indication that, like, that would be a bomb. Maybe, like, mediocre at worst, but a bomb? So,
well, I'm not saying you're wrong about Lightyear. I just dispute the nuclear take.
Fine.
I think if you switch them, it's a nuclear take. If Lightyear is your safe bet and Dominion is your... Yeah. Those Jurassic Park movies are, like, the highest grossing movie always in the top 3 of the year they come out.
Right.
So basically,
even though most of them are bad.
Even though all of them are bad. All of the all the world movies?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so yeah, Jurassic World Dominion was, of course, a critical flop because it's a terrible movie. And while it was not a box office bomb by any means, it was less successful than the past few, I think. It didn't crack the top 3 this year. So I don't know. There's an argument to be made there. However, according to Roger here, DJ nailed his nuclear take, even though he wasn't on the podcast for the episode because he was out walking the dog and had bodily needs.
Damn right.
Because Lightyear was awful. Box office bombs are rare for Pixar. Even Cars 2 made money. Lightyear surpassed the previous duds of Pixar, The Good Dinosaur and Onward, despite the massive brand identification with Toy Story. Now, part of that is that Disney cut it off at the knees with its Disney Plus release, I think.
Yes, it did. It absolutely did.
So
I think that goes into the bomminess of it. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that doesn't make it a bomb. It definitely does. I'm just saying... it's not necessarily related to the quality of the movie so much as the fact that Disney decided they didn't want it to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, and look at Strange Worlds for that department too, but I do think there's something with the quality of movie that is there too.
I mean, it's not a great movie. It's not particularly good. You could listen to a whole podcast for Nando and I's thoughts about this one.
Yeah.
DJ, hey, now that we're talking about Lightyear and you're here and you've watched it, do you want to give a quick, 1 minute, what you thought about Lightyear?
I mean, it's a very mediocre movie. I don't think it does anything special. I think it's a pretty uninteresting story. I don't know, like the obvious cash grabbiness of it's like, oh, like everything Disney does is a cash grab. But like Toy Story 4, which you would say, oh my God, they're making a 4th one of these, like had a good idea and was executed well. But this is like the opposite of all of that stuff. So, yeah, poor execution, didn't really care for it.
Right. So, next we have my prediction, which I think we can all agree was very brave.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Very inspired, bold, even. Because I only gave a nuclear take that Black Panther 2 would be a bomb. And, I mean, if one defines a bomb as not as good as the first one, then I'm totally right.
Does anyone define a bomb that way?
I don't think that's how that works.
If you define a bomb as a movie with Black Panther in it, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so that's 2 ways in which I'm right.
Yeah.
But according to Roger here, Diggins swung for the fences, dropping only a nuclear take for biggest bomb, and missed the ball and flooded the bat into the stands, which is quite representative of my actual skill at baseball. Black Panther was well-reviewed overall, liked by the podcast, and was the number 2 domestic grossing movie of 2022, possibly 3 when Avatar 2 ends its run. That's looking fairly likely at this point.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's nearly made $1 billion already. Diggins has to pay $8 and is awarded 1 Elon point. I will never pay my debts, just like in real life, but
that's fair.
I'll take the Elon point. This is a fumble Rooski for me.
Honestly, I was with you. I thought it was a good pick, and I think everything was there for this to happen. But yeah, maybe Black Panther 3 you'll get another shot.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe.
But anyway, oh, sorry, what were you gonna say, Nando?
Sorry, you're cutting out. I think we'll have to just skip this next portion and go straight to my next. Blank will surprise everyone by being blank.
No, it's okay. I'm fiddling with my audio a little bit. There, it should be perfectly coming through now.
Oh no,
it should.
I heard
be
everything
totally
perfectly fine. I think it was all great.
So next up, we've got Nando's predictions for Biggest Smile of 2022, and like DJ, he dropped 2 on us
because he's brave.
Because he's so brave. His first one was Top Gun Maverick. You know, that new Tom Cruise movie that just came out. And I said just came out. I mean, it came out months and months ago, but you would be forgiven for thinking it just came out because it has been in theaters again recently due to how well it did.
I mean, listen.
Also, it's a movie Nando loved.
I thought it was pretty good. I think it was better than I expected it would be. Loved is a strong word, but it's okay.
It's pretty good. Give it its marks.
And then for his nuclear take, Nando dropped Avatar 2, Way of Water, a movie that, as we pointed out, is well on its way to being either the second or possibly the first highest-grossing movie of the year. So, number 1 and number 2 highest-grossing movies of the year.
So much.
Picks for biggest bomb.
All right. Avatar, I think I can live with because like they say it needs to make $1 bazillion to make money, so we don't know if it will be that yet. You know, it might not.
I don't know.
It may
trying to weasel out of this one.
I don't think it's gonna end the franchise forever, so it's probably not a bomb. But it's hard for that movie to be.
It got good reviews.
Yeah, but like, you know, they pay those reviewers off. Everybody knows that.
And we said it was good overall.
Yeah, we liked it. Where's our checks?
Fine. It's probably the worst reviewed of all the movies we just named. It's got a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes. What's Lightyear?
Worse than Lightyear.
That's the
so.
only one. Oh, Jurassic Park. Yeah, never mind. Jurassic Park's definitely lower. But like Black Panther, Top Gun, it's the lowest of them. Lightyear's also a 74 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really? So, that's crazy to me.
I mean, it's fine. Like, I think that's a pretty, you know, I think Avatar is probably a better. I think Avatar deserves the 74 less. But I mean, that's the thing with that Buzz Lightyear movie. It's just so kind of nothing.
Anyway,
here's
what Roger had to say about this. Nando got this one so bad that I almost feel I should take away his win for the What Dies category.
But he didn't, so we don't do that.
Top Gun was the highest grossing movie this year, both domestically and internationally, and Avatar 2 is already surging the charts domestically and internationally. Nando has to become CEO of Twitter and answer to Elon. He is awarded 2 Elon points.
And you get 2 Elon points.
And the picture of Elon in this doc is the worst one of all of them.
It's the PayPal one.
Yeah, they're all pretty bad, but this one's pretty bad. It's not the one with the sink. That's the only one that is as bad. But yeah, it's
let that sink out. That's what I say.
It's tough, you know, because that you gotta take big swings. But also, I am still baffled by the fact that Top Gun Maverick is the highest grossing movie this year. Like at the time when I made this take, neither of you were like, impossible. There's no way. That's going to be a huge hit.
I think that was another one where it was like, that's barely even a prediction worth making.
Yeah. It's so bizarre that it's the highest grossing movie of this year.
Listen, I obviously didn't predict it.
Yeah.
But the fact remains that you thought it'd be a bomb and it was the exact opposite.
And it's tough because like, I feel like with Black Panther, your prediction, it's hard. It would be hard for that movie to truly be like. I just don't think the world, the state of the world would allow it to be a bomb. Like I feel like there's so much goodwill going to that. That's like that movie. It'll make money. People will like it. It's just they gotta. But with Top Gun, it's like who are those people? That like it had to do it in the face of probably a lot of the audience never having seen the original. But yeah, fascinating. So great stuff. Great stuff. Next up. We got one of my favorite categories. Blank will survive everybody by being blank. Oh, wait, we could skip this one. Actually, we get to go to the next category. 2022 will be the year of blank.
No, hold on, Nando. I think there's some interesting things to talk about in this one.
All right, we'll start with DJ. DJ said, Turning Red will surprise everybody by being the best Pixar movie. This was rated incorrect by PolitiFact.
Yeah, 4 Pinocchio, or no, like 2 Pinocchios or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's like a Pinocchio kind of. She's got that same kind of like body does thing, whatever. It's a I think I still haven't seen this movie, so I really can't say too much about it, but it seems
it's not, and was you want to read what Roger wrote?
Yeah. Here we go. So,
position. Yeah.
Turning Red was not a bad movie. It probably cracked the top 10 on some movie lists, and it was easily the best Pixar movie this year, looking at you, Buzz. But it was not the best Pixar movie of all time. Maybe it cracks the top 10, but that is a big maybe.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
I have also not watched this movie, like Nando. Everything I've heard about it is that it is very good, but definitely not best Pixar movie ever.
Yeah, I'm sure for like a certain audience, it could be like, oh, this is my favorite one. But like,
for all you young Asian girls in Canada, the only people in the world who can enjoy this movie.
I guess so. But yeah, like I don't want to say I had higher hopes for this movie. Well, I guess I thought it might have lit the world on fire. I do think the direct to Disney Plus, because I think this one was like not even a movie theater release. This was like direct to Disney Plus, so they're just fucking killing it. Thank you, Chapek. But yeah, I think that it maybe like wasn't as amazing as I thought it could be, but I still love it. I think it's a great movie. So, but yeah, I definitely did not get this correct. This was a swing for the fences. This was definitely a big swing.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I did say that during the pod. I was like, man, Luca just came out, you crazy son of a...
I know.
And I haven't seen Turning Red, but I still think Luca's probably the top 5 Pixar movie for me.
Yeah, like Luca's better than this movie, so there you have it right there.
And it's got Italians, and that's working uphill, against it already.
Everyone hates Italians.
Exactly. But anyway, no, we love Italians here. I don't know. How do we feel about Italians? They're fun.
Are any of us Italian?
So
yeah, I'm not Italian either. I grew up with a lot of Italians.
Growing up in New Jersey, I feel like makes you like partially Italian, just because you see a lot of Italian people.
Yeah, we all grew up with a lot of Italians. We all grew up in New Jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So speaking of
Italians,
Diggins, you said Avatar 2 would be interesting. Avatar 2 will surprise everyone for being interesting in a weird way. Roger decided this was correct-ish. Avatar 2 was interesting in that it may have one of the best action set pieces of James Cameron filmography. I do not think this is what Diggins was going for, but since we've already had a no winner in the winner of 2022 category, irony, I think Diggins gets the win here.
I think it's interesting in a weird way for having Paya Khan, the outcast Tulkun, the anti-imperialist whale who we all stan.
I feel like you're on an island with this. I think this is a you thing. I wouldn't throw we.
I certainly did not have super intelligent whales with brain juice that makes humans immortal on my Avatar 2 bingo card.
Sure, but that's not like why people are talking about Avatar.
Sure, but my thing was only that it would be interesting in some kind of weird way, and I think that's a weird way in which this movie is interesting.
I don't know if it surprised us. I wasn't surprised by immortal whale juice.
You weren't surprised that there were hyper-intelligent whales with brain juice that makes people immortal? You didn't see that in the movie and go, what the hell?
It was Avatar. I knew there was going to be like weird shit in there. You get the win. I think Roger is very correct in his assessment with the correct-ish.
I agree. I think if anything, you're almost right. But like my problem with Avatar 2 in this category is the whales are not the most interesting. Like you're saying, kind of, there's other more interesting ideas this movie has that it doesn't really spend as much time on. And I'm like, if they did that, then it might be the most interesting movie of the year. Then it would be surprisingly interesting. But the idea of super intelligent whales, I don't know, man. If it was super intelligent, like porpoises, maybe you'd have me. But whales... Everybody thinks
you draw a very fine line. Very fine line.
Well, I guess we'll just have to move on to the next one to see how correct that one was.
Oh God.
Oh God. All right. So here we go. Halo will. This is anonymous. Halo will surprise everyone for being great. Nando,
Really?
Nando. You just want to collect. Yeah.
We just
Not only great, early Game of Thrones great.
Yeah.
Like you put a marker on it.
You weren't just
Yep.
like Halo will be pretty good. You were like it will be generation defining great TV.
Absolutely. When I make a prediction, it's cool and sweet. And this one said, Nando, you just want to collect all the Elon points you can at this stage. Halo is not only not a good show, it was hated overall and nowhere close to the Game of Thrones early season hype. Your vote no longer counts in Twitter polls and you're awarded 1 Elon point. Yeah, this was rough because this show did stink. I tried to watch an episode and it's really, really bad. I don't know. Have either of you guys seen any of it?
No,
I watched,
not a second.
I watched some clips on Twitter of people being like, I can't believe how bad this show is. And I was like, God damn.
Yeah, it's really terrible. Like, I just don't know what they thought they were doing. Because the books are okay. Like, there's story there. But they did that thing that a certain, like they had just that same energy that a certain person is having on Twitter the last couple of days, where it's like, well, obviously we're not going to really pull from the stuff in the game because the game isn't as good as movies, so we're going to make it more of a movie kind of thing. Like they made him take off his helmet. They changed something about the way that the Halo guys work. It's so dumb.
Fortunately, there's no one making any video game TV shows in 2023 who think that way, so we shouldn't be exposed to any other kind of disaster like that.
Seriously.
I do think maybe one of the rules of everything, of adaptations, is if in the adaptation the guy doesn't take his helmet off, don't do that in your thing. Like, that is the fastest way to show the audience you don't know what you're doing and you don't get it. And, like, it's just...
I think
bad.
one of the rules should be at least a majority of the people working on the thing should like the original thing.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? Everybody gets. I mean, maybe the Elon points are valuable. You know.
Yeah,
they've
maybe.
already lost 60% of their value over the course of this year, so that's not a great sign. But
they might gain value at some point, though.
Yeah.
To the moon.
That's right. DJ, I think you got to read the last bit. The 2022 will be the year of blank.
I do get to read the last bit. All right. So, by the way, Diggins won this category.
That's true.
Blank will surprise everybody.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, oh sweet Jesus. Okay, 2022 will be the year of blank. I had 2022 will be the year of the DCEU taking over the mantle.
How is this not the worst take?
know. How is this not an Elon point at minimum?
Roger, I would say, obviously we love what you do. I think I should get 3 Elon points for this because, like, if the whole year goes as it does, exactly as it does, like, up until December 1st, this is wrong. The fact that, Gunn took it over and fired everyone makes this, just the most wrong.
Yeah, it's 2 wrong predictions stapled together. It's the Marvel thing will fall and the DC thing will rise. Like, that's the most impressive part of it, honestly.
The thing that I said, well, let me read Roger's thing. Okay. Doctor Strange, Black Panther 2, Thor: Love and Thunder all came out swinging for Marvel and were met by powerhouses of Batman. It's DCEU's it's DCEU now, baby. Black Adam and checks notes, DC League of Super Pets. Okay, so the mantle did not change hands this year. However, there is a case to be made that if the Gunverse takes off, that 2022 was the beginning of the changing of the guard, but the mantle is firmly with Marvel. So I get that. I just think that, my prediction was, the thing that I said would be top dog doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
That thing is gone.
I'd say the only positive, not positive, but the only saving grace or thing that doesn't come up in that is this was the Peacemaker year, and
that
was good.
That's fair.
But
I
that's
love
about
Peacemaker.
It. Yeah, it's so hard to remember. That's not my remember when, but that was January of 2022. So
yeah,
there's a lot of that stuff like that that just is super easy to forget. But yeah, it's a weird one. I think it's one of those things that people keep saying too. Everybody keeps saying this is the year Marvel's gonna lose, DC's gonna win.
I know,
and Marvel tried so hard this year to lose. They made Doctor Strange and they made Thor they made all the Moon Knight not make sense at the end. They made Miss Marvel go back in time. But DC just couldn't help themselves.
And when I made this stupid prediction, it was on the promise that we were going to get all of these like really cool, big like DC movies that never even came out.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
It's, like thinking back, I'm like, why did I say that? And it's like, oh yeah, because we were promised that actually this might be a big year for DC. But no, just fucking shit.
I wonder.
Oh my God.
Could one of us be turning the table or tipping the tables in our favor by going to I don't even know what it would be, but like whispering into someone in DC's ear like, hey, don't release any of the movies this year. And then they're like, you know what? We don't want to do that. And then we can win the whole thing. That's what I'm going to try this year. I'm going to try to influence the thing. I'm going to make everybody like Halo. And then I'm going to get a retroactive point. That'll be fun.
I guess.
It'll be like an ironic thing maybe, or maybe it's good. I don't know. What about next, DJ?
Okay, so next we had Diggins. 2022 will be the year of the mystery. And this was correct-ish. The mystery as a genre was not at the top of the movie charts per se. It was sprinkled into Amsterdam and Barbarian and was the focal point of Glass Onion. It was also peppered into some shows like Severance and White Lotus and was the focus of the After Party. The one movie that tips the scales a little bit to make it a tie with Nando, see below, is The Batman. Having a mystery be the narrative device that moves the plot along for one of the top movies of the year helps this cause. What say you, Diggins?
I mean, yeah, I think we got a lot of good mystery movies this year, but it wasn't really like a dominant overall theme for the year either. So I accept this correctish.
See, as someone who is going to lose this whole thing, spoiler alert, I think there's a case to be made that there's other things this year that would support this claim more than like we're giving it, not like more than we're giving it credit for, but like, yeah, they said like White Lotus, Only Murders in the Building. That's another one of these.
Yeah,
that's true.
That show Murderville with Will Arnett that I think is the funniest show of the year is another one of these. Oh God, what was the other one? There was another one where like, I mean like, and we said this with like, does the year have to be defined by a good thing? Because like Moon Knight was kind of a mystery.
Yeah, that's fair.
They did manage to throw some things into, that stupid Florence Pugh wife in a robot suit movie.
Don't
that
worry,
one,
darling.
or whatever. Mystery. So like there were a lot of mystery movies. I do think and like most of the shows were good. But yeah, those last two I named weren't very good. But I think there's a case to be made. I wish there was one more big hit. Or like one that made a lot of money. And then I'd feel pretty good about it. But yeah, it's just like, I want to see box office 2022. How far down do you have to go to find a mystery? Something that could... I didn't see Minions, so not that. I guess it's Batman.
I was gonna say probably the Batman.
Yeah, I guess that's not bad. Uncharted, yeah. Nope. Nope was pretty good. I wouldn't say that's like a mystery as much as like what's the difference between like a mystery and like a natural phenomenon kind of question,
Like a tense thriller?
Well,
is that
like does a mystery like I guess like the thing in Nope isn't just noping around because it's trying to, I don't know. Would you consider that a mystery?
I suppose one could say that there are mystery elements to it because we don't know exactly what the thing is or what it's doing or why it acts the way it does, which is different from, say, Jaws, where we know what the thing is and why it's doing what it is. It's just a matter of, figuring out how to stop it.
That's right.
But I wouldn't call it a mystery movie either.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, there was a movie all about secrets this year, which we all know and loved, about the secrets of Dumbledore. That's a mystery kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
That's true. We didn't figure out what the secret of Dumbledore was until the very end.
And we'll never know. So, either way, I think there's a case there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then finally, Nando, you had 2022 will be the year of the multiverse. You also got it correct this year. Maybe in some other universe, the Flash and Spider-Verse movies were released and Nando convincingly won, but alas, in this universe, animators take time to animate, and Ezra Miller is a crazy weirdo person. That being said, Doctor Strange had a strong major showing in the box office, top 3 worldwide, And No Way Home was re-released to start 2022 off with some multiverse momentum. But I think the movie that tips the scale to give Nando as much of a claim to the category as Diggins is a little movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. 2022 was as much a year of the multiverse due to movies being pushed out and Ezra kidnapping, biting, and punching people all throughout the United States as it was about mystery.
Yeah. I think...
I think a big bolster to you in this category, Nando, is that your category encompasses the best movie of the year.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a big feather in your cap.
And
the biggest feather.
And the best game of the year, that fucking Warner Brothers Super Smash Brothers thing that has The Rock. So, and LeBron James from Space Jam.
Yeah.
And one could argue that Fortnite is a multiverse.
And didn't Disney make some sort of multiverse thing this year?
Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of. My thing is Sully has robot armor and he fights Maleficent, who's wearing you know what I mean?
Kingdom Hearts? No.
No.
There's no new Kingdom Hearts this year.
Yeah.
Marvel Snap? That's a multiverse game.
No, I'm thinking of is it Disney Universe? No, this is from a while ago. There's
Are you sure you're not thinking of Dreamlight Valley?
What is Dreamlight Valley?
It's a Disney game where it's like they put out a bunch of stuff based on Disney properties.
Yeah,
and
you might be thinking of Dreamlight Valley.
It's do stuff with.
It's like Animal Crossing meets Stardew Valley, but with Disney.
No, so I found it. It's what I'm thinking of is something called Mirrorverse. It is it really is just they just put all the characters. So obviously this game didn't hit because none of us have heard of it, but they kind of gave all the characters some bullshit and then they fight, and I'm assuming the explanation for why they all come out of portals and hang out is multiverse stuff. But I haven't played it. I do see these toys at the mall sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, thanks Ezra, and thanks Chris and Phil for trying to make the movie as good as possible, ruining my prediction. I think if either of those movies came out and they were good, this would be a lock.
I think you win it, yeah.
They screwed me over. I feel like someone trying to sing karaoke in Hawaii. I'm a victim of Ezra. But yeah, no, I feel like the multiverse, I think the interesting thing about the multiverse, why this is the year of the multiverse, is because it's not just that it's the multiverse as a concept. It's the multiverse as a concept to smush all the IPs we own together and make some bigger thing. That's what all the companies are trying to do now. So that's the goal of entertainment. And there's clearly they're going to keep doing it. But yeah, lots of multiverses going on. So what is the verdict, DJ?
So you and Diggins won this category. You get to share the belts for this one.
Interesting.
Yes. So now we have our superlatives, which I'll finish up with here. So we have the most accurate prediction overall, which was given to me for my biggest bomb of 2022 with the Lightyear, the nuclear Lightyear take. Nando called the death of the Arrow CW verse, but we all kind of knew their end was near, kind of like Twitter this year. But I have to compare it to DJ for using his nuclear take, ignore his regular answer on what is possibly definitely the worst Pixar movie to date, review and box office wise, $225 million. At least Cars 2 and 3 made $560 and $390 respectively, while still being bad movies. But Lightyear was a special kind of bad considering the Toy Story name recognition it had. So
fair.
I get that. Nando, you get the Elon Musk Award for the least accurate prediction overall. Lots to choose from, but it's definitely Nando who wins the Elon Musk Award for being the biggest flop on selections. Picking two of the top grossing movies as your bomb, and nuclear bomb choices is kind of a special bad move. It's the kind of pick that you go, oof, when you look back at it. It was the type of whiff that previously was only available to the richest and the richest of the rich, as their ego caused them to lose as much of their wealth in a terrible purchase only made terrible by their extremely bad and overconfident choices. For that, Nando receives the Elon Musk Award, which I assume is like what is the Elon Musk Award? Is it like a toupee with like
it's an apartheid emerald.
Now we all want the Elon Musk Award, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Now it's a thing to be valued and treasured. Very good.
So there you go.
And whenever I shine the emerald in the sky, a weird nerd will come and take a bullet for me. So it's like it's helpful for that reason too. It's like
a really great award.
I'm happy about it.
I am jealous. The winner of predictions was no one. Hot take, it's tough to pick a winner for the 2022 prediction because, and I can't emphasize this enough, the guys made some really, really bad predictions. Like, you knew the future and picked the worst answer on purpose levels of bad. For every accurate selection, there was an even more Elon being brought up on stage by Dave Chappelle level bombs. Even the correct answers weren't that all correct. In summary, I grabbed more pics of Elon than I typed correct. All this means is that the winner of 2023 can lay their claim to 2022 as well because it's up for grabs, or the guys can fight it out to decide who wins 2022.
Listen.
It's really only 10% booing, okay? 90% of our predictions were being clapped at. Only 10% were being booed at.
And actually, there was a big fight going on while we were doing our predictions, so that was a big part of why that was why they were wrong.
And if you try to share a video, you're banned. No videos about that are allowed. Yeah,
Well,
we're
listen.
not good at this, so
Listen, we've never claimed to be smart. Quite the opposite.
Is this the worst year? We do
Yes,
really like
it has to be. It has
between
to be.
us for the movies, the bomb one. We have the top 4. I think it's 5. 4 of the top 5 highest-grossing movies of the year between us. The only one we didn't do is Doctor Strange, but like the other ones are all super far up there. So that's pretty good.
I think that might be the worst individual category we've ever done.
Yeah. But I think it's bold of us to do it, and I think that makes us brave.
Yeah, we're super brave.
It takes real bravery to be this raw.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys, so do you want to actually, with complete hindsight, look back and then say what the things of 2022 actually were?
Wait, I have a couple more superlatives before we wrap up.
Oh, okay.
I have to go over our IMDb winner.
Okay.
I think this is important. I think DJ should be allowed to do this.
Just got a couple more superlatives, and then we'll go to our actual what happened in 2022. All right, so IMDb winner, that's Diggins. The race was a close one heading into the Avatar 2 IMDb summary. Diggins had 15 wins to Nando's 14. If Nando pulled off the win, they would have tied at 15 each, and Nando would have taken the crown to his 3 wins and 1 loss in head-to-heads against Diggins when DJ was out. Diggins chose to go first and defend his pending crown, securing the win in Avatar 2 and our hearts.
That's
Congratulations to our IMDb king for the upcoming year. Best of luck defending the crown in 2023. Final stats, Diggins with 16 wins, Nando with 14, DJ with 13, 17 tiebreakers. So
Yeah, it's usually bad.
Oh,
They
my
usually don't
brain
do a
is-
good job.
My
with the
brain
thing.
is so big and strong.
And then I have some highlights that Roger noted for 2022.
Excellent.
So some IMDb notables. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness had the most bonkers, wrong, inaccurate summary from IMDb, which is super true from what I recall.
I'm going to look it up now, but
It
go
was
on.
something about like Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch teaming up to fight a new bad guy. It
Yeah.
was something hilariously wrong.
Yeah, honestly, it seems like they changed it since then because the one they have now
Really?
is actually pretty close, like pretty accurate. So
Like, did someone listen and be like, oh my God, this is horrible?
I guess the monster at the bottom of the IMDb pit or whatever crawled out and scratched in his blood a new thing, or whatever we decided that was. Because yeah, it is definitely what we have here is. But I remember it was bad. It was like much worse than it is now. So
That's funny.
yeah.
And then Nando, you get the award for most accurate IMDb summary for Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
And I see
You got
here
it, like,
it says it
almost
counts for
perfect.
3 points, which means I
Oh,
won.
no.
What?
Right,
What
but it
a-
says that winning the most overall counts for 20 points, so I actually like crushed you.
Oh no! Why
Yeah.
even bother? Yeah, I don't remember what the Sonic one was, but I bet I was great. We'll all remember that later. I'm gonna
All
go
right.
listen to that episode after this.
I have my favorite category that Nando put together. Things Nando said he could beat in 2022.
Oh, I would never put a category like this together. Roger put this together. Sure. Yeah. Brave as I am.
Nando claims people to beat a Pteranodon.
Wow.
A Pteranodon.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, clip this for 23. All right, there we go. Daniel claims to be able to beat a Pteranodon if they were grounded in a room. That was for Jurassic World Dominion. Nando said he could beat the Dr. Robotnik robot.
Easily the most insane one.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
With like a car, it could do it. Like, I think
No.
I don't think it could beat me. I think it'd be really hard to get. So, like, I think with enough time, I could, like, throw some cables around some trees or whatever, trip it. Very top heavy. It's a bad robot. A hedgehog can beat it.
It was made by J.J. Abrams.
That's right. It was made by whoever made Mithrigan, if you ask me. The worst robot, or the best, depending on your point of view.
I can't wait to find out if Nando thinks he could beat Mithrigan.
Hell no.
I can't wait.
Mithrigan would fuck me up. I haven't watched this movie yet, but I feel like Mithrigan is the opposite. It's like a small thing that's dangerous. What I think I could beat are big things in bad circumstances, or like the Pteranodon's big, but it's just in a room. You can't really do anything. But like, yeah. A Mithrigan, that's my nightmare.
Did you see Mithrigan run on all fours in that trailer or twerk it?
I did see that. Yeah, she runs on all fours like a dog and high fives the girl for using the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. 2 weeks,
God.
guys. 2 weeks.
We can't wait. And then finally, Nando said you could beat a helicopter because you could pilot it.
Everyone can. Everyone could drive. You just have
Everyone.
to believe in yourself. It's not that hard.
All right, and then finally, Roger's top quotes and moments of 2022. The M-Chi or M-Chi-U.
Yeah.
It is revealed that DJ had no idea that Nando Diggins were saying M-Chi-U, S-H-E. The previous few weeks of the pod, I thought it was saying M-Chi-U, like Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Or like a gangster. M-Chi-U, she. Like that's... I don't know what it makes more sense or less sense.
Also, Roger timestamped these, so you gotta go find them.
Well,
so
he
it's
timestamped the ones you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. This movie is rated PG for tobacco use. Diggins, as even wilder and more adult things happen in the old Willow movie.
It is rated PG for tobacco
It
use.
is rated PG for tobacco use, even though there's like a 5-minute sequence of people slowly and horribly turning into pigs.
But those pigs don't use tobacco. Or do they?
Yeah, but those
Ooh.
pigs do get down and dirty with each other.
That's true. Nothing wrong with that. It's just natural. It's what happens when you put a bunch of pigs on a set together.
Uh-huh.
And then is it incentive to be good at sex?
that's
Avatar,
a good
talking about the
Uh-huh.
with the tails. And my favorite moment from 2022 is a quote from DJ. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how I haven't done blackface yet.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You did say
Rereading
that.
that. I think the yet is what kills me there, because I don't think I'll ever do it. I think it's what my intent was. I can't believe I've never done it. Like, I don't think it's on the cards for the future, but I can't believe I've never made that mistake.
You can't rule it out, DJ. You don't know for sure
No.
that you will never
Yeah,
do blackface.
I know. Like, I freaking know I'm never doing it. So if anything kills me, it's the yet part of that
Guys,
quote.
somebody's got to clip this
Yep,
to
clip
pull out
this.
when DJ does
Roger.
blackface.
Hold on to this quote. I mean, listen, maybe it'll become so racist that it'll like go fully around and become unracist, and I don't know how. But is there like
Maybe-
what's that called? Like that thing? That
Overton window? Is
yeah,
that what you're
no, but something like that. Maybe it will. Yeah, dig so
Maybe-
far down the hole that it hits China, like, and then comes out the other side.
Sure.
Maybe we'll end up in that one young adult novel's dystopia where it's bad to have white skin, and so DJ will try to darken his skin so he doesn't get hauled off to the mines or whatever.
Like, this would have to be, I would have to fall face down into, like,
yeah.
like, bucket of shoe polish, come up, someone takes a photo, and be like, oh my god, this guy did blackface. Like, that's the level of
this could be like a Curb Your
ridiculousness.
Enthusiasm situation where, like, yeah, just a bunch of coincidences, and then you get in trouble for it. And it's like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. So watch out. Yeah. Throw away all the black things you own, all the black liquids for sure. Like,
oh my god. It's going to be that episode of Rick and Morty where I open up a fortune cookie. You will do blackface.
Yes.
Like, no!
That's what's going to happen.
Oh my god. All right.
How has Rick and Morty not done that yet?
Yeah. Clip this in case that ever happens. All right.
Too
so
busy,
that is our...
Too much incest. Anyway, go on.
That is our 2022 review for things we did. So now we will go with our year in retrospect. How did 2022 go? And then what everyone's looking forward for our 2023 predictions. So yeah, let's do it.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Some of these are things that have kind of come up already, but we're going to actually talk about them with hindsight, and then that means we'll be right. So we'll do this the same way. We'll start with me, I'll read the first one. And this is blank was the biggest failure of 2021 or 2022, excuse me. Not everybody all at once. I know we all probably have the same one. Start with you, Diggins. Since you won, you get to go first.
Okay.
And won the IMDb game, obviously.
Obviously. I have 2, one of which I'm pretty sure one of you is going to say. So I'll let you say that one and say my second one.
Okay.
Yep.
Which is, I think the biggest failure of 2022 was Billionaires.
Ah, that's a good one. I didn't write that
really
down, but
one.
right before you said it, I was like, I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Expound.
Well, first of all, pop culturally, Billionaires took a real beating this year. There were a lot of, maybe because of Parasite's Oscar win, but there was a lot of Rich People Are Bad movies. We had your Triangle of Sadness. We had your Glass Onion.
Yep.
Others,
Menus, your White Lotus. You had a lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of rich, privileged people are monsters or just stupid or some degree of bad people. And then in reality, in the real world, we also had some high-profile billionaire disasters. Mark Zuckerberg has always been a weird robot that nobody likes, but now he's also pouring millions upon millions of dollars into his VR thing that nobody likes. It also seems like it's really bad.
Yep.
To the level of they had a big announcement about how now legs work in the metaverse, and it wasn't even true.
Yeah, it was a lie. That's the best part.
Such a basic thing was their big announcement. We're making huge strides, and then it was also a lie.
It's so good.
But obviously, these past couple months, Elon has been showing, honestly, not even just his entire ass. He's found other asses to graft to his ass so he could show those asses too.
Yeah.
He has thrown bad money after bad, buying Twitter and then tanking its value by just never learning how to shut the fuck up.
And tanking the value of his other companies by proving that he's an idiot.
Through nothing but the sheer power of his own idiocy. And I don't mean making bad decisions, although of course he has. I mean just speaking out loud and letting everyone know how stupid he is. He has successfully slashed his own personal wealth so much that he is no longer the world's richest person.
It's pretty cool.
That's an incredible self-own. I think that might be the biggest self-own anyone has ever done.
Yeah, I think so. That first guy who hoisted himself on his own petard is close. But maybe that was his great-great-great-grandfather or something. We don't know.
It's possible. I mean, who can say? But yeah, so I think between the pop cultural drubbing and also the real life drubbing of some of our most famous billionaires, this was a pretty bad year. I mean, obviously every year is a good year to be a billionaire because you will never have any actual human concerns for your entire life. But as far as these things go, pretty bad year for billionaires.
And I mean, there's other ones too, a very bad year for Donald Trump, who's not a billionaire but pretends to be one. Very bad year for Sam Bankman-Fried, that weird billionaire who I didn't even know existed, but apparently is a billionaire and fucked everybody over. So
huge fraud, going to jail.
It never stopped.
Yeah. What about Bezos? Did Bezos have a quiet year, or was he also?
He had Penis Rocket. We made fun of him for his Penis Rocket.
Was that this
Lord
year?
of the Rings show.
That was this year. Can you believe that?
Wow. Yeah, so he did. So did billionaires getting divorced too. You got
it's
Musk.
Almost
you got Bill Gates. You got Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, it's almost like they're horrible to live with, and the second anyone is able to leave, they do.
Yeah. Pretty bad year for billionaires, guys.
I think that's fair. All right. So, DJ, I'll let you go next. Who do you think? What was the biggest failure of 2022?
So I think this kind of goes into Diggins' category, but mine's is a little more specific. So my biggest failure of 2022 is crypto bro hype. I think the reason why this was such a failure is because like how it started, how it ended in a single year of what this hype was. It's like how you're all idiots for not being in on crypto. We're all gonna be rich, diamond hands to the moon. You're all fools. Like the Super Bowl ads you had, it was Binance that I think it was.
Yep.
I can't remember like, between all of them. That just the QR code like bouncing around. Yeah. That you had the Larry David FTX one.
Yep.
Like it's just crazy that you went from that to where like my mom didn't know what crypto is, and then the Super Bowl happens and she's like trying to figure out what it is, or at least has an awareness of it, to then the end of the year it's just like failure after failure, where it's like, yeah, the Miami Heat arena is not named FTX Arena anymore, it's got to be something else. You know, who knows how long the old Staples Center is going to be Crypto.com Arena. Like, the fact that thing is still named Crypto.com Arena, like, it's, like, bizarre, right?
That is bizarre.
Like, it would be like Lehman Brothers Arena. It, like, doesn't make any sense.
Titanic
like,
Center for...
The Enron Foundation.
Yeah.
May I tweak it slightly?
Sure, please tweak.
I feel like what you're saying, the biggest failure of 2022 was the mainstreaming of crypto.
Okay, yes. Yes, thank you.
Maybe crypto's not fully dead, according to Roger, but like it tried really hard to become a mainstream thing that like regular people would get into, and it failed at that very badly.
It's never going to be like, maybe not never, but in the near future, it's not going to be a currency. It's not going to be a thing that retail investors are like people who are doing their little, oh, let me go on Robinhood or whatever, or Cash App and get some crypto. Like, that's done. I think it's been dealt like a pretty like serious blow. Like, it doesn't mean it's dead forever, but like the prospects of it doing anything like, you know, interesting in the realm that it claims it will do, I think those prospects are dead for a long time.
Then again, DJ, there was some pretty big news right at the end of the year that might turn everything around.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Nando knows what I'm talking about.
They're $99, DJ. And
I totally forgot.
You can buy them. It's especially helpful if you do it and you're some sort of money launderer. That would be great if you could use them for money laundering. That
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the main use case for crypto.
It really is. It's a surprise it took him this long to get involved, honestly.
Right? So that is my biggest failure of 2022.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Donald Trump released a line of NFTs of him badly photoshopped as different like cowboys and astronauts or whatever.
And thin people. Like, it's just, some of them are just him standing around in a tux, but like, you know, on a
like cut.
Yeah. On like Brad Pitt's body. It's weird.
That's another thing, by the way. NFT value has like dropped like 94% from the beginning of 2022 to now. So that's another one that just like totally bottomed out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if crypto comes back at least a little bit, but I do think NFTs seem dead.
I do find it interesting too that the year opened with a 2-hour long Dan Olson video that I don't know if it went like viral, but I think it had like a few million views on it, about how like crypto is bad and these NFTs are bad and all of this is bad, and it's all like, oh, FUD, this guy don't know what he's talking about, blah blah blah, and like he got to be right. So
God, was that this year?
It released in like January of 2022.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think that means I get the other biggest failure of 2022.
Yeah.
The other one Diggins was going to say probably is Warner Discovery was the biggest failure of 2022. And in a way that was incredible because they started pretty strong with that Batman movie we all liked. And, I even think last year we said, I think I said this, that like HBO was one of the big winners of 2021 because they had a bunch of good movies that they put on HBO and a lot of people saw them, like Suicide Squad and Dune and stuff like that. But the Discovery merger, man, they canceled all the movies people wanted to see and put out 2 movies that are not good. And there was, Black Adam and Don't Worry, Darling are the only 2 movies they released post-merger, and they were both big flops. And Black Adam dragged The Rock down with it, and that was a big weird thing. And then there's the Henry Cavill stuff, and obviously all of the Ezra Miller stuff was this year. Like I would have said just DC, but I think there's a little bit more to it than that on the business side, because they're also just taking all the cartoons off the platform and doing all kinds of weird shit. Like they're taking away the Justice League cartoon soon, which is like
what?
Yeah, I know it's popular and good. James Gunn just said it's going to be part of the blueprint for their new universe. So maybe that's it. Maybe they just want to hide it, but it's bizarre. And like, I think the James Gunn DC thing can pay off, but I don't think that counts yet. And also because of DC and Warner Brothers Discovery, I'll believe it when I see it. Like if he makes a Superman movie, writes it and produces it, and it comes out, then I will believe it. But like, so much of this stuff is so like vaporware until, the day I'm watching it in a theater. But yeah, Don't Worry, Darling and Black Adam. Black Adam, 20 years or 15 years in the making. Look what happened. It was great. We all liked it.
We all liked it, and it changed the DCEU forever. It's going to be the Black Adam verse from now on.
I mean, if balance sheets are anything to go by, it should be. They want to lose money, so they might not do that. But yeah, it's pretty bizarre. They stink, but maybe they'll be cool this year. Who knows?
Well, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, same. You want to talk about the biggest winner of 2021?
Well, that was something we decided in last
2022.
Excuse me, I haven't changed the numbers on my thing yet. Yeah, do you want to do that thing I said?
Well, for 2022.
For 2022, yeah. DJ, would you like to start?
Yeah, so I always struggle with biggest winner of 2022. I think there are so many things that, can have these big wins. So I'll just go for me. I think my biggest winner of 2022 was Elden Ring.
Interesting.
I think
because
this could
of
be
that
seen
guy on the Game Awards stage.
Jesus. So I think this could be seen as kind of like low-hanging fruit, but the way I look at this is like the opportunity cost for Elden Ring to like have been bad or like a total like anything less than a perfect game might have been seen as like a total failure, because like I'd never seen, not never, but like the hype for this video game was incredible. And it's not like, oh, they did it. They released a video game that was super hyped and we didn't hear anything about it forever. And like they released a near perfect game. Like it won the Game Award for Best Game of the Year. You could quibble if it's that or God of War Ragnarok. I think it's God of War Ragnarok. But I think to release like a near perfect video game with mass appeal that everyone loves and like was just, I think, really enjoyed by everyone who played it and got a lot of people into the genre like that didn't play Soulsborne. Like I never played those games, but I loved Elden Ring. I'll probably revisit it at some point. I just think that it was a very good success story from Software to have an incredibly, like the expectations for this game were so high, like LeBron James coming out of high school levels high, and it met those expectations, which you could argue is a near impossible task. So I think that it, like that as a success story, is a huge winner for 2022, which is why like I would give the belt, like, it is a video game category, which can be kind of niche, but I think if like you were to say that to most people, you wouldn't get like shocked like faces. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's fair.
I would say that, yeah, at least as far as video games go, like I follow some video game stuff, and it's felt like in every discussion and every like list on Game of the Year stuff, it's been like a foregone conclusion where everyone's like, yeah, Elden Ring's number 1. So let's talk about what number 2 is going to be. It's just like been so obvious to everyone. Like, yes, obviously Elden Ring was like a 200-hour game that never unstayed its welcome. It's so full of content. It's incredible to play. Obviously, that's the best one. So let's talk about everything else.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I was to say that coupled with the expectation of like this game better be good or we're gonna fucking kill all of you. Like it had so much riding on it.
Yeah, it's so hard to think about, like, you can't think about its success in a bubble because there's so many other games that have tried what it did or, like, have had those high expectations and just bombed, like, by being not just bad, but, like, horrible. I'm trying to think of one from this year that, like, or a recent one, not like a Mighty Number 9 situation, but something like that, where, like, everybody gets really excited and it comes out and it's rushed and bad and stuff. And this was pretty good.
Yeah, that's like another part of it. Like what? Like I mean, I'm going way back, but like the original release of No Man's Sky was like a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
and that's one where you look at it and you're like, oh my god, how did this happen? Even if you look at like the original, and I'm going way back to like 2014, but you know the original release of Destiny, we're like, oh my god, it's Bungie's first game after Halo, and it's like, oh, this is very bad. So you know, recently I think some studios may have learned that maybe we delay the game. I don't know, like if there were excitement levels for Sonic Frontiers, but that's a game that came out and was like, oh no,
yeah.
This needed more time in the oven.
No,
or
and
something.
I feel like the Sonic fandom is ready to just go, yeah, that one was bad, wasn't it? And then move on. But yeah, I feel like we've had a lot of games over the last. I mean, like, or even like small ones this year, like that Batman game that came out where it was like it was like
Arkham Knights or whatever.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. Yeah. But like there's games like that where like the expectations are really high, and I think by now game people know to expect those might not work because that's just what happens. Like Balan Wonderworld, that was one that everyone hated last year.
Oh,
right? Like,
man. Yuji Naka, also a big contender for biggest failure of the year. Three times gone to jail for insider trading.
That is pretty bad. You shouldn't do that. But yeah, I'm looking at like lists of the worst games of certain years. But yeah, that the games industry and hype and stuff like that, it is a problem. So yeah, it's pretty surprising that this lived up to the hype. And
before I pass it to, I guess, Diggins. Yeah, before I pass it to Diggins, it's one of those things where I was trying to think. Well, was there like, relative to other media like movies or TV shows, like was there a thing? Like my favorite TV show was like Severance. I'm sorry if I'm stealing. I shouldn't be saying this, like in case I'm stealing. But
you forget yourself, mister. You only name one thing you like, and that's how the rules are.
My bad.
You come in with the sledgehammer that says Severance on it and throw it at me.
But yeah, like, and there were other like directors of movies that I'm like, well, like given hype or whatever. But I just feel like this was like for me a big winner, so that's why I pick Elden Ring.
That's fair. Diggins, what was your biggest winner of 2022?
For me, I think I would have to say that the biggest winner of 2022 was the movie.
Oh,
Dumb movies.
Dumb
Was that your
Dumb
biggest?
movies.
Was that your biggest winner of 2021?
It
Was it?
2020.
Like it was. No, I think it was 2021. It was like going back to the movies was the biggest winner.
No,
that sounds
that's
right.
I don't think I said that was the biggest winner. I said no. Going out and experiencing things, I said was going to be the thing
that's right.
we're going to all love about 2021 or 2022. I think.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it would be the year of going out and having new experiences. That's what I said.
This just feels familiar, but I'm sorry. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Big movie for the movies. I mean, listen, we already talked about we've got some huge financial successes that came out this year. Avatar, Black Panther, Top Gun Maverick. What do these movies have in common? Why were they big successes? Because they delivered on huge visual spectacle that can only be properly experienced in the movies instead of at home. A lot of naysayers on this podcast who will remain nameless were like, after this pandemic, movie theaters are never coming back. No one will ever want to go to a movie theater again. And just last week, one such naysayer was going, you know what, this movie that we just watched is so visually beautiful that it really did sell me on the magic of the cinema. So let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you can count You could sit there on your high horse and say a movie theater's out. I'll count it out. But the rest of us knew it was never out. And I think this is the year we could say it's definitely back, baby. People love the movies. People love going to the theater. They love the popcorn. They love the butter. They love the big sodas and the hot dogs, and they love to sit in the theater and watch the big movie on the big screen, baby. That was why it was the year of the movies.
I mean, and the gas leak, from what I'm assuming, is what that Vin Diesel impression turned into. Yeah, it was. There were lots of movies. And you know what it was? It was the year of the movies, and it was the year of the movies that are only movies. And not also cartoons or comic books or whatever. Those managed to be movies again. And it used to be that those were second-class movies behind the ones that are comic books or whatever. So that's significant.
Yeah, I mean, also on a less gas leak note, I mean, I think this was also a year that had a lot of really great, like, critically successful and well-liked movies that were these big, bombastic experiences that did feel so amplified by seeing them in a movie theater. I mean, this is the year of Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was the year of RRR. Like,
The Northman.
I mean, The Northman's pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily put it in that category, but...
Sorry.
But yeah, no, like, this was a year of maximalist filmmaking, which I think is the most, like, the thing that most benefits from being in a theater, and I think that contributed a lot to it being a year where ticket or like box offices really came back.
That's fair.
Yeah, it does feel like we were at a nexus point where movie studios going to be like, man, do we have to go like straight to VOD or like just do it streaming service, or like are the movies going to die? And like they did not. Like it, like we're going back to you have to go into the movie and see it. And you know, maybe it's a strange world when we're Disney, we're just going to put it on the streaming service a week later because it bombed so bad. But otherwise, you're going to have to wait. Now that time has been reduced significantly. And we still have the weird, like Glass Onion was kind of a weird, like it's in the theaters, but then it's right to Netflix or give it a month or whatever. But yeah, I do think for the most part, like we got to go back and we got to sit next to rude people who take Zoom calls during James Bond. But, you know, it's the life we got to live. So, you know,
hey,
it is what it is.
Don't talk about my future wife that way.
I know.
Yeah.
So
cool. All right. So I have two. They're people. So I'll make it quick. The first one, my biggest winner in 2020 is Guillermo del Toro. This man, 500 years ago, sat down and said, I would like to make a Pinocchio movie. It will take me forever to make. And I'm sure every producer on the planet was like, wait a second, but what if Disney makes one first? And he said, I believe that mine will be the good one. And they said, you're crazy, Guillermo del Toro. And then some Russian weirdo was like, I'm going to make one too. And Guillermo del Toro, like the little, like some sort of fable, you know, animal, sat down and said, I will make my, you know, Pinocchio movie. And the Russian man came and he made his Pinocchio movie, and it was the worst thing we'd ever seen. But Disney hired the most popular, beloved actor of all time, one of the most popular, beloved directors of all time, and made one of the worst movies we've ever seen. And then Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio came out, and it was incredible. And I cannot imagine, speaking of diamond hands, the like being in that position of Guillermo del Toro, being like, nah, I'm just going to make mine. And just sitting through this Pinocchio tripping onslaught of 2022 with the gigantic grin on your face. Like, two of the worst movies I've ever seen were both about Pinocchio this year. What the hell?
You know, there's another one next year.
I did see that, yeah.
Wait, you're serious?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, like, I get it.
I guess who's in it?
Tom Kenny?
Tom Kenny.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck?
Get that paper, Tom. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. Pinocchio's at the public domain, so everybody's going to have one. But, man, it's so clear that Disney kind of went, oh, he's going to have one. That'll be popular. We have to get ours out first, and turned it into a huge mess. I don't think they rushed it because I think all of their decisions were bad. Like, at a fundamental level, it's not like things weren't polished enough. Like, they probably weren't. But it's more that, like, the plot was bad. But the whole idea of like trying to scoop him on this and then just getting clowned on it's pretty credible. It's our most listened to podcast of the year is our Pinocchio Disney podcast because it's just such a bad movie. Yeah.
I would not have guessed that.
I wouldn't have guessed that either.
I think it's one of our better ones too. Like I think it's very funny.
It's a great pod. I would not have guessed that it was the most listened to one.
The people understand the quality, I guess. I don't know. I've seen a lot of YouTubers after we put our thing out, not because of it, but like also had videos about how Pinocchio's the worst thing ever.
I think
they're listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's right. But yeah, I think Guillermo, and I mean, you had that Cabinet of Curiosities thing, which was fine. But just for Pinocchio alone, I think he might have been the biggest winner of 2022. My other one for this was John Turturro. So if I had to pick one actor that I think absolutely crushed it this year, you had Severance and The Batman. My favorite movie and my favorite show of 2022 probably. Both had John Turturro putting in a fantastic performance. Very different. Very like personal and strange, but perfect for the thing that they're in. I wouldn't say he's like the standout best character of the Batman, but I do think he's probably the best character in Severance, or like one of the more popular, probably two. And then he also managed to sneak into a little movie called Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio. So he's in 3 of the best movie or TV shows of the year. And you know, there's gonna be more Severance in his future. I just think he didn't even have to do like a, you know, movie with those brothers from Fargo, those guys. Those are kind of his guys usually. He'll be in those, but he wasn't even in one of those this year. So probably be one of those next year. But yeah, John Turturro crushing it. But yeah, I was trying to think of another actor that was equally crushing it, but I could not. It's tough. Maybe Cate Blanchett. I don't know. Nah. Yeah.
Listen, Cate Blanchett loved working with Guillermo del Toro on Nightmare Alley so much that she asked to be in Pinocchio, and he told her the only part we haven't cast is the monkey, and she was like, absolutely, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I respect that kind of energy.
Absolutely. Like, and I think she had a pretty solid year, but yeah, if I had to pick one actor or creative, John Turturro is up there for me.
Cate Blanchett got to be in Monster Hunter.
What was that?
I'll explain later. It's a joke.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm curious. So yeah, next thing, the Remember When, you guys. Remember when blank happened in 2022? I'll go first, you guys. Remember when the Wordle sale happened in 2022?
Oh my God, you're right.
So I only thought about this because when I was listening to last year's one of these, in that episode, DJ recommends Wordle. That's his recommendation. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that wasn't a year ago, was it? And like, I think you were a little late to the game. I think that was kind of the joke of the recommendation, because like in November, everybody got on board, but still, like that has come and gone in a year for most people. I don't know too many people that are still wordling. But yeah, isn't that so weird?
That is weird. Huh.
And I don't like Wordle very much. I like some of the things it has spawned. I like Actoral. That's my favorite one. But and some people have other ones that they like more.
I forget what network is doing it, but there's like a Wordle game show.
Oh God.
So yeah, you knew, man. You
you really do. That's the kind of thing they love. Yeah. What about you guys? Diggins, what was your Remember from 2022?
I had a couple.
Okay.
Trying to decide which one is. I think I'm gonna go with the one that's way back from January for the maximum. Like, I can't believe that was this year energy. Guys, remember when a bunch of people freaked out because they made the green M&M less sexy?
Oh yeah, that was this year. That was fun.
Yeah.
I like that. They gave her shoes that weren't boots.
Yeah.
And something else. How else did they de-sexify her?
I think even her glasses they made less, like, sexual.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah, it was her boots and her glasses. Yeah, I mean, listen, everyone knows the green M&M used to be a nasty little slut.
I mean, to be fair, the red M&M was the original of the group. He was the one that had sex with a human woman that was going to eat him in one of the commercials. None of the M&Ms have ever been more sexual than that. He seemed okay with it, but also kind of confused about it.
I don't know. There was that whole commercial where two parents were having a serious conversation about whether it was okay that their son was jacking it to the green M&M or not.
I mean, that's not the green M&M's fault. That's that son. Right. How can you blame Tucker Carlson, young Tucker, for being in that situation? You know, he didn't ruin the honor of the green M&M.
Right, no, but my point wasn't that the green M&M was the biggest freak. It's that it's the sexiest M&M. That's the nastiest little slut.
That's okay if you say so. I think the pretzel one that had sex with the pretzel, that one had like a boyfriend pretzel. That one was pretty interesting. From commercials kind of recently where like the pretzel was friends with it and you're like, what's going on here? And yeah. And then they made the brown one and it's like, she's the M&M. She's the thinking man's like female M&M.
I think the brown M&M used to be kind of a dominatrix.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Immediately they were like, the other one's a sexy one. And this one's just, she's a sexy one too. Never mind. We have two sexy lady M&Ms now.
I think it's frankly a miracle that neither the green nor the brown M&M ever had boobs.
Yeah.
Right?
If James Cameron was involved, regardless of how they give birth, they would have had some boobs.
Even though M&Ms lay eggs.
Yeah.
Still need to have boobs.
Ugh, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so weird that the M&Ms have personalities. You know what the weirdest thing about the M&Ms is that J.K. Simmons is the yellow one. That's so weird.
I know, and still,
I'm not
too good for it.
I'm not sure that he still is. He definitely originated the role and wasn't for a while. I think he might not be anymore.
It would make sense.
I hope he gets paid forever. Like, I hope he should keep doing it. How hard can it be?
Santa?
That
commercial's been on forever.
They do exist.
The yellow M&M should take on his new persona of like a really like aggressive jerk in these commercials. Like kind of instead of being the doofy one, he should start beating the shit out of the red M&M for his dumb schemes and whatever because he's not taking M&Ming seriously enough. Because yeah, J.K. Simmons has a reputation of maybe that's why I won't do it. What was your other one, Diggins?
Oh, my other one was going to be, remember when Lea Michele put out a statement about the conspiracy theory that she couldn't read and did not deny that she couldn't read?
Or prove that she could read in any way that would convince anyone.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't think she could read. That's my guess.
I think she maybe can't read, guys.
And I think she can't read, but also at this point doesn't want to give us the satisfaction. So she's never going to learn. But it's not because she does not have the capacity. It's that she doesn't want to be proving us right.
Look, we all have the capacity to learn how to read.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe she can't. Maybe she just can't get her head around that A or something. There's just a letter that's totally, log jammed in her brain and she can't get all the rest of the letters going. But, I mean, she's got to kind of be able to read, right? She can look at things and go, that's some words, so that's a good place to start.
That is a word.
I don't know. It's weird when celebrities can't read. Remember when Floyd Mayweather couldn't read? Kind of.
What?
That was
that was a thing too.
50 Cent would yell at him about it on Twitter or something. But yeah, every so often a celebrity is determined to be I think it's like kind of functionally illiterate, and it's bizarre.
It's just
sometimes you just don't go to school.
If you're in a first world country, illiteracy is so rare these days. It's just always bizarre.
Yeah. And there's so much reading in your life now with phones and stuff. Like I just cannot, like, obviously you can have screen readers, but like that would require probably you faking, like, because it doesn't seem like, because there's people that use screen readers, but a lot of the times they just use them. But she would have to use it secretly because she's pretending she can't read. I don't know. Right. I don't really know who this woman is. I know she's from Glee, and she hates Beanie Feldstein or something. But besides that,
she was on Glee. She was apparently like a menace backstage, like really horrible to work with.
Oh, she was the racist one?
Yeah.
I saw someone on Z-Way talking about this. That's right.
And she replaced Beanie Feldstein in Funny Girl. because Funny Girl wasn't doing super well, but it was like Mimi Feldstein's dream to always be the lead in Funny Girl. And like her run got cut short by the producers to cast Lea Michele. So a lot of the anger on that got put on Lea Michele because she was the one who replaced her. And also, for other reasons, she's very easy to hate.
Makes sense. Well, that is a weird one. I do love a good conspiracy like that, though, where it's just kind of silly. Now, where was she on January 6th? That's a question. But we don't have time for that one right now.
It's very possible, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. DJ, what about you? What's your remember when?
Hey, guys, you remember when Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith at the Oscars?
I thought it was too obvious. I thought it was too obvious to say this one.
Only because of the thing that he put out the other day. Otherwise, I would have forgotten.
Oh, see, so I'm not online enough to. I'm not aware of this. I should have been, but I'm not.
He has a new stand-up special that he's started promoting like yesterday, and a lot of the discourse about the special was like, oh, right, because of that before. It's probably going to stink, but, you know.
Dang it. So
it's probably going to be like 30 minutes of jokes about getting slapped.
Yeah. I stand by it. I don't know. I just think that, so it wasn't super recently, but it was like such a big thing. And it's not that we all like forgot about it, but like we just kind of let it go. It's like, Will Smith's banned from the Oscars. He said a thing, it was the discourse, but then it went away. But like, I don't know, man. It's still for me, as someone who watches the fucking Oscars, like I had to call Diggins and he just gave me a meh. But like I just like it was something that I had to talk about immediately. Like, and Twitter wasn't doing it enough for me for whatever reason. But like,
oh, well,
I don't know.
That wasn't a problem you had in the following days.
Yeah.
That's yeah. You know why? Because no one watches the Oscars, so no one on Twitter was being like, "Wait, what happened?"
That's smart of people. They shouldn't watch the Oscars. Dumb.
It was crazy in the moment. I was like, "That's not real. They staged that." I was like, there's no way. But then it became more and more obvious that it really was just a thing Will Smith did.
And he got away with it, more or less. Like,
he won the award in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He went back and then won the whole thing.
I mean, the voting happened before the ceremony.
I don't know. There's got to be a thing you could do.
They actually, the way it works is nobody knows who wins until the person on stage opens the envelope, except for like a few guys at PricewaterhouseCoopers. So like they didn't know if he was going to win or not.
There should have been some kind of like calling in like the code red where it's like, all right, if Will Smith wins, we just cut to commercial and we're going to be like, you know, or just say like, you know what, if Will Smith wins, we're just not letting him. Like, call up PricewaterhouseCoopers, ask who was second, or just be like, you know what, we decide that it actually does go to...
Get Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway on stage again so they can say the wrong name.
Oh my God. So, I still think it was a crazy, like, wow, that happened this year. The reason I brought it up is because, like, you know, I was listening to another podcast, you know, heaven forbid.
How dare you?
But they did like a audio year in review, and it was like, oh my God, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. I'm like, fuck, that was this year. Just seeing, you know, just for me, it was like, wow, crazy that went down and happened. But
that was weird.
But that's for me. I'm like, remember when? I didn't have a lot of other remember whens, but that one really stuck out for me.
I remember when in 2022 when DJ admitted to betraying us by listening to other podcasts.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Wrong?
Jerk.
I'll never forgive him. It's like being slapped, honestly. It's worse.
It's very similar.
Same energy, yeah.
But the most important thing, what was 2022 the year of? Who wants to go first for this one?
I think you should, Mando. You haven't gone first yet.
All right, I don't want to take all the good ones. I think so I had a couple of ideas for this one that if neither of you say the other ones, maybe I'll say them afterwards. But I decided 2022 was the year of the dad. I think my biggest misconception about predictions for 2022 is I forgot about the dads. I forgot that the dads watch movies and shows. And this year there were a plethora of movies and shows for dads. What with Top Gun Maverick, The Terminal List, Reacher, Ozark, Manifest, whatever that is, and all that Yellowstone, 50 Yellowstone shows. But on top of that, almost every big movie of this year was about a character becoming a dad. either a surrogate dad, but very frequently a dad. Thor is a dad now. Hulk is a dad now. Doctor Strange, surrogate dad. Jake Sully, dad. Homelander, dad. Owen Thunderguns, whatever the fuck his name is, from the Jurassic World movies, dad. House of the Dragons, guy becomes a dad in the end. White Lotus is about a secret dad. Obi-Wan Kenobi became a surrogate dad. Stranger Things, dad came back. Nathan For You became a dad. Spoiler alert for Black Panther, he's a dad now. Like, just, it was all about dads. I don't know what happens. I don't know if they've been planning this and, like, they've been secretly waiting to, like, dad everything up. But, like, it is hard to find some media this year that was not focused on being a dad or created directly for dads. And yeah, I think if I'd realized that in 2021, I would have been able to make much better predictions. But I did not. And that's my mistake. And obviously also DJ was a dad, but he's not in movies or TV shows, so it doesn't count.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Podcasters probably also became dads, but, you know, really the important ones are movie stars and you know, our betters.
Right.
What we are supposed to take our life inspiration from.
Right. Unlike how movie stars and TV stars or whatever are better than average people, I would say a podcaster is typically worse than your average person.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Because we make podcasts.
Yeah.
Already.
The lowest form of entertainment.
Yeah. Speaking about dads, Pinocchio is all about being a dad, and it always was, but they made 3 of them. So that's pretty daddy. Yeah, I think, like, the more you think about it, the more it's all dads. And I don't love it, but also it's fine. What about you, Diggins? What do you think 2022 was the year of?
I think DJ should go next.
All right, DJ, what do you think 2022 was the year of?
Okay. So this was kind of, I don't have a good summary title for it, but I'm going to do my best. So 2022 was the year of the twilight of an abundance of prestige television. So what do I mean by this?
Okay. Go on, sir.
So
if only there was a famous, concise phrase for everything you said after Twilight.
One we invented.
Yes.
That was us.
Yeah, exactly.
You like nitpicking? Is that the one?
No, not quite.
No, I'm totally lost. MCU.
There's a little phrase that I believe Nando came up with in one of our pods that has quickly spread and become a common phrase that's used all over the internet.
Yeah, it was like
peak TV.
It was. Yeah. I came up with it a couple weeks ago, and you can kind of find it in books dating back to 2016 now. They've been editing those, but yeah.
I have.
All right,
that was
let me edit this to like sound like a genius. Okay. I think that 2022 is the end of is the twilight of peak TV. So I think that, you know, obviously a lot of amazing shows you had come out this year, right? You had the Better Call Saul finale. That was seen as a huge hit. You had Severance. You have The Crown is still really popular. You had The Bear. You had, I don't know if people would put The Rehearsal in there, but I think that's kind of part of it. You have White Lotus. Yeah. But what's happening is, I think that, like, as we're seeing with, I don't know if this is only a Warner Discovery problem, but
everything's
a lot of
a
these,
Warner Discovery problem. DJ, you gotta be more specific.
It bleeds out into everything. But I think these media companies are going to be constrained in being able to take these big swings and make these like really interesting and like really good shows, because it's like really expensive to operate these like streaming services. So I just, you know, thank God Disney Plus had Andor, right? Because like it might have been just like, oh man, Disney Plus shows are just like a train wreck, but Andor seemed to like came in and like save the day, but it had that consensus of like, oh, this was a really good show. But I just think that, like, and I could be wrong, and this is bad because it's like I'm saying what 22 was the year of, but I'm also making a prediction that we're not going to see as much peak TV like we do now. Like, that peak TV has a peak, right? It has to slope down at some point, and I think this might have been the year of the peak of peak TV, and it only goes down from here. Not necessarily by quality, but definitely quantity. I just don't think we're going to see like the huge proliferation of shows that we have over the past like 5 years. I just don't think the media companies will have it.
Fascinating.
Do you guys disagree?
Absolutely. I don't. It's okay. It's not that I disagree in that I think it's going to go up, but I don't think it's going to go down. I think if anything, we're going to get a dip next year because a lot of the really expensive stuff came out this year. Like Game of Thrones is going to take another year to make another season, Andor it's going to take another year to make another season. But like, I think these platforms have to invest in TV enough that I just don't think it'll get worse. I don't think it'll get less. I think it'll probably stay the same.
I guess, yeah.
I guess I don't think there's so many things about TV that if I was Ben Stiller and I showed up with the idea for Severance and like I was like, I want to make Severance. I don't think you could sell. I don't think I'd make a movie. Like there's a lot of stories being told now. It used to be the case, and this still is with like almost all the Disney stuff, where it's like, oh, is this Obi-Wan Kenobi show a movie or is it a series? I don't know if we make a little bit of extra stuff here and we add this character, we can stretch this out into 6 episodes. There's that. But I think there's also a lot of stuff like The Bear and like Severance where it could not be anything but a series. And for that reason, I just think the series is gonna continue in a way that the movie can't quite cannibalize it. But we'll see.
Yeah. I think really what's going to come down is to the studios that, a lot of these studios that, have a television venue, they also have a movie studio because all of media has become so consolidated that they are going to, from a sheer numbers perspective, will just be like, okay, I put a movie out, I get a box office, I can measure it. Whereas if I put a show on a streaming service, then I'm not really sure what my ROI is. And I think this is a very acute Warner Discovery problem we're seeing right now in real time, and I don't think they're the only one that's vulnerable to this. So, and again, it's hard to prove in real time because I'm doing like a prediction we won't revisit versus like what I think 2022 is the year of. But I think we'll look back and be like, man, 2022 had like a lot of really good television shows that we didn't see, a proliferation upon into like future years. Like that was like peak TV. And then there was like a drop off into like, less TV, streaming, more movie focused. And yeah, I just think that the tides are kind of changing if we believe that like what Warner Media doing is a leading indicator and not just a one-off.
I mean, I'm interested to see how that goes. But I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you think there will be a desolate wasteland on all of our television screens starting next year?
No, I do not think that, but I do think it'll start. This, you know what? Maybe I had a bad 2022 with zeros, but I kind of felt it. I felt it.
No, because I took DJ's dad one because he was gonna say me, the dad. I am dad now, dad. So that's all I care about. And like, I can't perceive media that is a dad based.
Looking at the list, there's so many dad things. It really was like the year of the dad.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to boil down a lot of these things to like, and there's some things that I haven't seen, so like I don't know what fucking Minions was about. But like, if you look at the box office and just pick, a random thing, like there's Batman, wasn't quite about a dad, but dads were the whole beginning. Like it's very much about dads. Sonic 2 about dads. Black Adam kind of about dads. Like it's just a lot of dads going around. People have questions about dads, and the movies have the answers. And a lot of times the answers is no. Sometimes they don't have nice things to say about dads, but there's still dads to be had.
It's true.
Like, I don't know. What would you think Nathan for you came like down on when it comes to dads?
I think dads that don't stick around bad. Dads always need to stick around, or else they're ultimately bad.
Yeah, that's important. So, yeah. Diggins, has enough time passed that you've come up with one?
You'd think that, wouldn't you? You'd think it would be easy to come up with something that this was the year of. And in fact, it's so easy that I definitely have something.
All right. Well, don't wait anymore. Start that sentence and just see
Nando
where it takes you.
Good one. I'll filibuster for you.
I have a better one that I'm holding on to that I kind of I figured would be Diggins's, but that just based on kind of taste and stuff.
Yeah, because there's definitely you know what? I think we should say it at the same time,
At the
Nando?
same time. Yes.
Yeah. So that
Here we go.
Because obviously we're thinking the same thing. All right. Because obviously we're thinking the same thing.
All right. Obviously, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 2022.
2022 was the year of the revolution.
Yeah, because obviously between RRR, Andor, Pinocchio, Severance, Avatar 2, and the Matilda movie, there's a lot of movies about the people rising up violently to destroy some sort of oppressor. And
it's the year of the anti-fascists.
Yeah. So I was trying to connect it to the working man. I also wanted to call it the proletariat revolution because I wanted to get the bear in there somewhere. But yeah, the anti-fascist I think is a good way to describe it.
Yeah, so I think, as Ninja said, there was a lot of stories about upheaval and revolution. RRR, of course, is a big one about two famous Indian revolutionaries. Now, that one might have some slightly different contemporary political valence based on the current politics of India that we're not super familiar with, so I don't want to say anything too big or definitive about. But still, I would say in the American consciousness, it reads as a very anti-imperialist, anti-colonial sort of story about, native Indians reclaiming the land from the British, which is definitely very much in that revolutionary mold. Like you said, Andor was all about the nuts and bolts of the Star Wars rebellion and really building this idea of what the fascist oppression of the empire is like and giving it a much clearer political valence than it has maybe ever had, to be honest.
Absolutely.
It's always been a pretty vague metaphor. And the prequels are kind of about the Bush years and post 9/11 politics, but I feel like people overstate the degree to which that is apparent in the text beyond some clunky lines like "This is how democracy dies" with thunderous applause.
And I don't know. I'm trying to think of another funny line from those movies. What's a really bad line? Something Jar Jar says.
Misa is Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, any of those lines, pretty good.
But yeah, no, and like you said, Pinocchio is also one of the best cameos of the year, with Tom Kenny as Benito Mussolini.
Yeah, DJ, you gotta watch it.
Okay.
I think Avatar 2, man, had the whale that was the anti-fascist. That's the first time, because I feel like the other Avatar movie was very reactionary. It was very the people are going to kill our tree. But this one, it was there's a whole thing where this whale is just it's fucking taking it to the man, and we don't like that. And the whale's like, fuck you. Let's all do it anyway. And then they do.
I understand you mean that they are reacting to a thing that is happening rather than articulating an ideology.
Oh, yeah. I mean, reactive. Yeah, reactive versus proactive. Yeah.
Yes, reactive is the word you mean, and not reactionary, which has a very different meaning.
That's right. Even Batman, kind of about the revolution.
Except the revolution is bad, and you shouldn't be mean to rich people.
Well, you can't get them all right. Every so often, one of them has to be swing and a miss. Have you seen the Matilda movie yet?
I have not seen the Matilda movie. However, I know of the Matilda musical, and I know that there's that whole song about it and everything.
I don't know if this happens visually in the end of in the musical, but there's kids holding signs that are "We will not be silent," just in the background that they made in that moment for the big revolution song. So the revolution, they've been waiting. It's coming.
And I think that ties into this being a bad year for billionaires, where the public mood is really turning against them. It's just, living under a dystopian hellscape with rocketing inequality, and where the world is getting worse almost exclusively because of the actions of 10 really rich people. I feel like that just becomes more and more apparent, and gets reflected more and more in art. And I think that has been really, really been prevalent this year.
Yeah, it definitely feels like there's an appetite for that kind of media. And if it's not just that, it's the other thing I was going to say, which is rich people getting killed on vacation. That's the other thing we had a lot of this year. And I think we could always have more. I loved all 4 of the things that were that, and I'll take as much as the entertainment wants to give me. But yeah, So 2022.
All right.
Not
What
that
a
great.
year.
Goodbye.
You know, okay. It's some good stuff, some bad stuff. Now 2023, that's a different year.
That's true.
go.
It's a year that hasn't happened yet.
That's the next one.
Whoa.
That's at least from my knowledge. I haven't seen it yet. You know, it's like Superman in the Warner Brothers movies. I'll believe it when I'm sitting in 2023 looking at a calendar and saying this is 2023. But until then, who knows? Yeah, we got a couple of things. These are going to be the things that we will be wrong about next year, but not till yet. Like, now we have to be wrong about them in the past for people that are listening in the future. So as this goes, we have a bunch of things that we will say. We will judge each other based on how much we think those things are predictions that are like reasonable versus crazy versus nuclear, you know, all that stuff. And then in a year, we will see how correct we were.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a tough one. So we got 4 categories, right? No, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to start?
What's our first category?
Finally dies. It's always first.
All right. I think I got this one.
All right.
And okay. So, okay. And I think this will be a bit of a discussion. I think that and this is measurable. So we'll be able to go back in a year and be like, "Oh, DJ fucking nailed it." I think that the proliferation of streaming services dies in 2023. I think we will have like at least 2 or 3 less streaming services next year than we have right now. Like, I think we're going to have a lot of CNN pluses for things that are already around.
Or CISOs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
for
what's up?
bonus points, do you want to name some streaming services that you think will die?
Yep. Okay. And die could also be like, like I'm also counting like consolidation. Like, it is not its own app, it's content investment. Sure. So, Peacock, I think there's no way Peacock makes it through the year.
That seems realistic.
Yeah, I think it's going to get gobbled up by something. I think Peacock's definitely done.
Gobbled up.
Oh, I didn't even do that on purpose. Do Peacocks gobble?
Yeah.
Okay. Discovery Plus, that's done. That's going to be rolled up into HBO Max, despite what they're saying that it's for the ladies.
Yeah, even though it's for female tastemakers or whatever the hell they put it.
Yeah, whatever
Genre
stupid
dumbs.
thing.
Yeah.
Genre dumb, yeah.
AMC Plus, that's done, and then finally I'll say Paramount Plus is done. I think these will not be their own streaming services with apps that you could like download onto your phone or Roku or whatever in 2023.
But then how are we going to get Halo Season 2 when they really turn this franchise around?
That'll move to Netflix.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So I think what these companies are going to learn is that they can't afford to have these streaming services on. It's too expensive. So they're going to either have to sell their content to Netflix or like the only one who's done this right is Sony, right? Sony's like, we're not making our own streaming service. We're just going to sell our content to like Netflix, whoever, make the money, and then we're good. We're not going to try and maintain a streaming service because apparently it's pretty hard. But they're like the only one. Everyone else is like, we want our own money, and it turns out actually no, we're not gonna like. You can't fracture all of the content. We will just say no to certain content. So
yeah. I think, and like I could even see, because one of the things that's going to happen early in this year is Netflix is going to cut off password sharing because even they can't really afford it, and so I wouldn't be surprised if like even the bigger dogs maybe don't completely die, but like lose a lot of market share.
It goes into what I was saying, that I just think we're gonna have less like peak TV than we've had because these companies just can't afford it. It's become untenable. But that's like my prediction is specifically the existence of some of these streaming services is just not gonna happen. It was a fun ride while it lasted. It was cool that there was so much free money and that these companies could just like do whatever they wanted. But I think, and like from a realistic standpoint, right, if we are hitting a recession, which I know is like debated whether it will or will not happen, but even with like inflation at current rates, you like probably have people saying, yeah, I'm not paying this much a month for like all of these different TV services. I literally can't afford it. So goodbye. And it's I don't think people are going to be like going back to cable, but maybe it's like I just have my YouTube TV and I'm good, and the rest I'll just deal with. I'll go back to pirating it or whatever. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any comments or thoughts on that.
I think there's something to it. I'd be interested to see if the ones you said pass or fail.
Yeah, those are bonus points, by the way. I just want to be measured on the
those are, I said for bonus points, although honestly, I'm shocked Paramount Plus has made it this long.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is part of why with me, I think like there's some of them that won't die because they can't. Not like can't, I guess, but they have too much money. Like Peacock. I think it will probably go away.
I don't know how it stays around.
I mean, maybe it's just those subscriptions of people that want to watch The Office and stuff. I mean, I don't know how any of these guys stay around, so I guess that makes the most sense. But yeah, I'd be curious to see which ones actually do win. It just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I imagine it'll be like Netflix, Hulu Disney might consolidate Hulu, right? To where it's just like Disney Plus has the thing, and they just kind of dissolve ESPN Plus and Hulu as their own things. But it's Netflix, it's the Disney suite, it's HBO Max, and I don't even know like what other like big ones that I'm missing, but like it's just gonna be the
Apple
big
TV Plus.
Apple TV Plus will be around.
Yeah,
because they have enough money where they can just be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter. We want to win Emmys for Severance, so we're just gonna keep kicking around.
But what if Apple buys Disney and just merges Apple TV into Disney Plus?
There you go. Right, that would be huge. Not predicting that, by the way. I know it's like been like scuttlebutt, but I just don't know why Apple would buy Disney.
Cultural cachet.
Yeah, it's available, but yeah. You need iPhones to get into Disney parks. That would be a game changer.
That's almost true right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're a second-class citizen without, but you still can do it.
Yeah.
All
right.
Yeah, that's me. Yep.
I'll go next. This one I feel okay about. Because I think 2023 will be the year that Twitter finally dies. And by dies, I mean I think it will be an unusable application because the code will be deleted by accident because of the whims of some idiot. But I think it's going to be... I just don't... I think as much as people are like, oh, I want to go to Mastodon, and it doesn't seem like that quite is going to happen as a migration, I do think just he is going to manage it so poorly that it will break and be unrepairable. I don't know if you guys saw the Southwest Airlines thing this week, where
I did. Yeah.
I think Twitter is that as well. It is an old ass piece of technology that is run by it's taped together, and if part of it falls apart and the guy that has the key to that thing isn't there that day, the whole thing burns to the ground. I feel like that guy definitely got fired. So I think it's over. And I think that's great. I hope that means there are consequences for the world's dumbest man. But
so you're saying
see.
Twitter.com just goes nowhere. That I cannot access Twitter.com.
Yeah, either you won't be able to access it, or the amount of bugs that will come from mismanagement will just end the whole thing. It won't work. People won't go to it anymore. I don't think there will be because of Elon Musk says something horrible about trans people. I don't think there'll be the mass migration end to Twitter. I think it will be the wheels will just come off the car and it will come to a stop. I'm not sure if the car explodes, but it is not moving anymore.
Interesting.
It probably ran over a kid.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, it probably ran over a kid, and I don't know. He sucks. I hate Elon Musk. That's all I got. I think it's good. I do think it'll be. It might be the only thing that may make this prediction wrong is it might be done before 2023. We got 3 days left in the year. It ain't looking so hot. What about you, Diggins? What do you think 2022 will be the year of something?
I'm sorry. Can I just? Yeah, I just want to say something on your prediction, Nando, if I may. I actually think you're crazy wrong on this one.
Interesting.
Wow.
Like, I don't know if our predictions could have a Marvel Snap element where I snap your
Oh,
prediction
no.
for extra cubes.
DJ, your addiction
Do you
is bleeding
retreat?
into real life.
Oh no, DJ's entered the metaverse.
Yeah. Why do you think Twitter's going to stick around? It feels like it's
I think
on
it's
borrowed time, honestly.
I think it's made it this long that it will continue to operate. Like, I think that would have already happened if it were to happen. I think the fact that it is still up and running means it will continue to remain up and running.
He just thinks that Elon Musk is too smart that a big purchase he made could ever go wrong. This is all part of his secret plan.
I mean, Nando, you won the Elon Award. You should know this better than anybody.
I do know this better than anybody. And I think even though he is smart and cool, Twitter as a company it's just, as a piece of machinery, is so broken that no one can fix it. And I think, one day he's going to go fucking name searching through the code or something and delete some random string of 4 characters that is the word Elon, and then the whole site will collapse.
Nando, I have some good news for you. He only looks at the code as printout. So what he'll do is he'll take the printed code and then put white out through it, and he'll be like, I fixed it. So
that's true.
Hopefully, as long as Twitter doesn't operate in that fashion, or him whiting out code on paper, delete some shit, I think we're good.
I legitimately think he thinks code works the way that the King Candy computer works in Wreck-It Ralph, where you just swim into it and like pull a big block away from all the strings. It's
Is this blockchain?
Maybe. So Diggins, what's your
I'm
thing?
snapping your prediction, Nando. I'm snapping it. I want extra cubes if it's wrong.
I cannot imagine. I mean, I've got so many cubes to spare from how well I did this year.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't get negative cubes. That's something I remember about
That's
this
true.
game.
You can't get negative cubes.
Diggins, what do you think will finally die in 2023?
Well, I'm going to make a prediction I have technically never made on air before.
Uh-oh.
2023 will be the year that crypto finally dies.
Whoa,
Everybody
what?
check your recordings. I'm still going. Are you still going, DJ Diggins?
Yeah, I'm still good here.
I'm good. This is getting captured. The listeners are listening to it here on the live stream that we're doing.
Fantastic. Right, yeah. I can't even imagine a world where that happens, Diggins. It's just such a crazy idea, but explain yourself.
Yeah, can you define what you mean by this specifically?
More specifically, okay. I think the crypto market share total, however you define that, will be significantly lower than it is at the start of the year.
Okay.
What's significant? 50%,
50%,
75%?
60,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to set it conservatively. I'm going to say 10% in a financial market where the whole thing is you grow all the time. Even a 10% shrink is year on year is devastating.
I don't know. I mean, we had a 60% shrink this year. I think you got to give more than that.
30%.
It's not dead yet.
30%.
Oh, you got. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I feel like you can't predict that it will finally be dead and it will lose less than it lost this year.
Okay.
Being still alive.
80%.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. That's a
Thank
prediction.
you.
That's a prediction.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
And I think it's possible. That's why I think.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think 10 to 30%
play.
is almost guaranteed. I would be shocked if it lasts the rest of it lasts this long. So we'll see though.
The only thing that might hold it together with like duct tape and glue is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, because it is a cryptocurrency that is still fairly successful despite the drop. It kind of keeps the whole market solvent.
See, I would have bought that if it didn't lose, 60%, 70% of its market share this year. Everybody lost so big. We'll see. It's a good, interesting
I
prediction.
love it. I do love it.
All right. Next, the big hit of 2023.
The winner of 2023, right?
Winner is last. I guess I have it written as will be the big hit of 2023. But either way, same thing. I think it has to be a show. It can't be a person. The same way that winner can be John Turturro or whatever.
Or it could be a movie, right?
Or a movie. Yeah. It has to be some sort of property.
Like a media. Yeah.
And so who wants to go first here?
I'll go.
Okay. Diggins,
Listen.
what'll be the big hit of 2023?
Listen, I've made this prediction before, and I think the intervening year has only made a stronger prediction that the effects-driven Tom Cruise movie of the year is going to be a huge hit. Guys, Mission Impossible 7. It's going to be big.
Interesting one.
It's going to be big.
I don't disagree. And as we've seen this year, the dads will come out for it.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna quantify this to make it a little bolder, like I did with my Bitcoin. It will be in the top 3 highest grossing movies of the year.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that prediction.
Just to put some numbers on there, make it a little less nebulous. The Mission Impossible movie will be at least the number 3 highest grossing movie of 2023.
Worldwide or domestic?
Worldwide.
Okay.
All right, I like that.
Important.
I like that we're putting like markers on this. I think it's good.
All right, I'll go next. I think Succession will be the big hit of 2023. I feel like it was kind of the big hit of last year, but I think it's going to have a big year next year. I think it's going to be the biggest show for sure. I think it's going to win a lot of awards, and I just think it's probably the best show currently running. And I don't think this is a surprise because it is a very popular show. But I just think looking backwards from the end of 2023, we'll go, yeah, it was Succession. Succession's either was or is, because I don't know when it gets released, because last year it came out pretty late. But either it'll have been finished and have been a big hit, or it will currently be a big hit. But do either of you guys watch it?
I don't. Do you think?
No, I really should.
Do you think this will be the best season?
I don't know. I mean, that's one thing about Succession. I've not really gotten into the discourse, but I don't know if people have a favorite Succession season. I really never had that thought. I've never been like, I like this one better than the last one. So I think they're all great. I think the way that the cards are kind of set for this season and like what's going to happen, it's going to have to be pretty like dramatic and interesting. But I don't know if that means it'll be the best one. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. And yeah. And it's one of the only shows like House of the Dragon and Andor and stuff like that this was their off year. So a lot of that other big competition is not going to be around next year. So they'll just have to contend with like Secret Invasion or whatever. And because I looked at the upcoming shows for this year, and there's not that many good ones. But hey, we'll see. DJ, what about you?
All right. So I think that John Wick 4 is going to be the biggest hit of 2022.
Interesting.
I think that
it's going to have retroactively come out this year.
Damn, 2023. Blah. Keep making this mistake. Looking at the wrong sheets. So yeah, I think John Wick's going to be the biggest hit of 2023. So I think that all the John Wick movies have like built on top of each other, and like it's not that like it's like 3 better than 2, which is better than 1, but like they're all amazing.
If anything, the opposite.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think they're all top tier movies that do very well, have mass appeal, do awesome at the box office, and I think there's like been an anticipation for this one, and I think it's gonna do huge. So I really do think that like John Wick 4 is gonna be. I'll even give it I'm gonna say top 5 box office. I think easy.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I could see it. I don't know what the highest John Wick movie has like shown up in the box office. So that's my only question is, does it have a ceiling where it has to be like top 10, but maybe not top 5?
I think there's going to be a lot of Keanu heat building. And then I think this will be like part of it. It's going to like put Keanu in the forefront and everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, we love these.
I don't know. Maybe Matthew Perry will have won us over by then.
Oh, God.
I mean, yeah, I think that movie is big. I think it's got there's a lot of big movies coming out next year.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
It's got some competition, but maybe. How about this? What'll be the biggest bomb of 2023? Let's do real one and nuclear one. Like we usually do.
Okay.
Who goes first?
Either of you two.
All right, I'll go first. So that way I could say it, and then I can have it, and it's mine. I think there is no question Craven will be the biggest bomb of 2023.
No, that feels like an easy
Yeah,
one.
absolutely 100%. No one
That's
wants
your
that
nuclear
movie.
one,
It's
right?
not going to be good. It would be wild if it was good, but I just don't see it. If I had to pick one that I think is, because here's the thing with next year's movies, I can see all of them being big hits, except for some that I'm like that I wouldn't have expected that to be a big hit. 2023, like, and I think there's a chance Craven doesn't get released. It's that bad, but I think it's probably going to, like, I don't know. I don't think Ant-Man will be a big bomb. I'm looking at the list now. Like, I would say all of these movies are printing money. If you wanted to pick a nuclear, not like a nuclear take, but one that's less likely than the others, I could see Transformers Beast Wars being a big bomb. And I only say that as like a nuclear take because those movies do tend to make a lot of money. I also think that audience turnover may have kind of wiped it out. Like that audience may not exist anymore. That being said, it looks cool, so it might be cool.
Yeah,
but I could see it bombing. What about you guys? DJ, do you have a bomb?
Yeah, I think the Mario movie's gonna bomb.
Whoa.
Interesting.
I don't even think that's that nuclear. I'm not convinced there's an audience for this movie. Like, I think that people who might be like, oh, I enjoy Mario. I think the kind of minionization of this movie might be a turnoff. I don't think kids are going to be particularly interested in this movie. Also, weird wrinkle, it comes out Easter weekend, which like isn't an amazing weekend to release movies unless it's like a Jesus movie.
He is
like
last year. Jesus.
Yeah, right. Like last year, Fantastic Beasts opened Easter weekend, and like that wasn't great. So
How dare
really
you blame Jesus for Fantastic Beasts failures?
my bad.
Yeah, they're not going to let you back in church.
Yeah,
seriously. But I really don't think that like Mario's gonna have it. I think it's gonna bomb pretty spectacularly.
Interesting. Do you think it will be good or bad?
I think it will be bad. I don't trust what I've seen, and I think this could be like a huge mail it in. We're just trying to make money. Like, even like with the Sonic, you know, there was like Ugly Sonic, but then when they like re-released it, it's like, oh, I kind of see something here, but here there's nothing, right? It looks like a true just cash grab. So
really, I think it looks good. Kind of. I don't think so. So,
but we'll see.
Is that your nuclear or your?
No, that's my regular.
What's your nuclear?
Should it be my nuclear? My nuclear is see, like, it's tough because I think this movie will do well at the box office, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway because it did well with me for Lightyear. My nuclear is I think Guardians Volume 3 is gonna bomb.
See,
really?
I thought about that, but I just don't think it's possible.
I know, right? It seems inevitable. Like, it's an MCU movie. It's the finality. It's the final gun Marvel movie. But it might have used all of its capital by the time it comes out. Like, it's possible people are like, you know what? I can skip this. So, like, I can see it happening. You know, I think it's been so long since Guardians 2. People don't really remember, like, what's going on. I don't know. I could see it, so I'm throwing it for my nuclear.
That's surprise. I think that maybe the big wrong take of the year.
Listen,
I think that Guardians will bomb.
Yeah, I think Guardians 3 will be like top 5 easily.
I ate it with my MCU movie will bomb prediction last year, so I respect you for going for it, DJ.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, it's very brave. It's the only movie out of all of them. So you got Ant-Man 3, Guardians 3, and Marvels. It's the only one out of the 3 that I can be like, that'll probably be good. Either way, whether it performs well or has like the marketing and stuff, I think it will probably be the highest quality of movie, and that alone makes me wary of that. I think Ant-Man maybe could bomb, and I think Marvels could, but yeah, I don't know.
So that's what I think is interesting. I don't think that. Okay, so ready? I don't think Marvels or Ant-Man qualify as a nuclear take for bomb.
Yeah.
And I did not find those interesting enough to put them in my prediction like either one of these will bomb. Like I just don't, and because I don't think they will. I think they'll probably do like middling. But like, you know, let's give me a nuclear big swing for the fences. I'm going to take Guardians 3.
It's very nuclear. Diggins,
right.
you want to get on that action? You got anything that's going to
we
bomb
get
next
some
year?
nuclear MCU action?
Absolutely. I have a regular and a nuclear this year, not just a nuclear.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
First of all, my regular is that I think The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is going to bomb.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like
That's a good
that.
Because, like, guys, we've literally done this. The very popular young adult series does a prequel based on no book that exists. It's not going to do well. No one cares.
Yeah.
People like the thing that they read. They don't like the universe.
That's true. However, isn't this based on a book? I think this one is a book.
I mean, maybe, but it's not the book everybody loves. It's the book that came out later.
Yeah, no, I mean, it probably sucks.
And sure, Rachel Zegler was great in West Side Story, but even still, like, I don't think it's got the juice. I don't think this is going to do super well. As for my nuclear take, and this is my nuclear take because I'm specifically talking it will not do well financially.
Okay. I hate where this is going because I know what you're going to say.
I don't think you do.
I think you're going to say Spider-Verse.
No.
Oh, okay. What do you got?
Because you're only going in the opposite direction I'm thinking. I'm saying financially because it's definitely going to be a bomb critically.
Oh.
But it was probably going to be a bomb financially, and I'm saying it won't be. Or it probably will be a success financially. I'm saying it won't be.
What is that?
I'm talking about the new Little Mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Those live-action Disney remakes print money.
They do.
And
they do.
I'm saying this one is going to be the failure. This one is not going to succeed.
So you think The Black Mermaid is going to be a failure? You believe because of the way that light hits the ocean, this movie cannot succeed?
I think because of the way light hits the ocean, revealing Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, this movie cannot succeed.
That's a good point. Yeah. What about Aquafina as the seagull, probably, or something? I think that's what that is. It's a lot of great stuff.
Unlike you two, I think Aquafina's pretty good. But I don't think it's enough. Yeah, no, I think there's enough weird racists. And also this one, like, the other Disney live-action remakes are visually uninspired in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe have bad design. I feel like this is the first one where people look at it and are like, that doesn't look very good. Like, visually.
Yeah.
Just because the underwater effects are all wrong. Especially after we just got Avatar, which, like, nailed underwater effects so hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that maybe this one is not going to be as successful. I think that it will not, be a big hit that makes them be like, we got to keep doing these because this make us so much money.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I buy it.
Yeah, I could see
it.
DJ?
Yeah.
What will surprise everyone by being what?
All right. I think that Christopher Nolan is going to surprise everyone for being good at making movies. See Oppenheimer. I think Nolan could have a turn.
A turn from what?
I don't think Nolan needs a turn.
No, Tenet was so bad. What are we talking about?
That's not a majority opinion.
And it's one movie.
Everybody gets one.
I don't know. You don't think if like do we think Oppenheimer is going to be good?
I think it's going to be fine. I don't think I'll like it that much, but I think it'll be competent.
It'll have like a mass appeal. Like, I don't know. I I think if this movie is like better than Inception, that would be like a surprise, right? You know what? All right. Here, ready? I'm gonna go. Oppenheimer will surprise everyone by being Nolan's best movie. I'm going out there.
There's a take.
Okay, I'm going out there. Oppenheimer will surprise everyone by being Nolan's best movie.
Now, what's the criteria for that? Best reviewed?
Oof. Like, box office doesn't seem fair because, like, if it's, like, adjusted box office or whatever. Like, I don't know. I feel like we could, like, two people are like, oh, this was, like, it was, like, better than, Inception, or it was, like, better than The Prestige, or it was, like, you know what I mean?
Dark
like,
Knight. That's the high bar, I think, for Nolan. I think by the discourse, we'll know if that's even something people are thinking or not. So I think that's possible.
Okay. I'll accept it.
Yeah.
All right. I might be way wrong with this, but whatever, man. YOLO.
Diggins, what about you?
All right. This might be my craziest prediction yet.
Oh,
you're gonna hear this and be like, Diggins, that's impossible.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go for it. I'm swinging for the fences.
Let's go.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny will surprise everybody. No, you haven't heard it. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny will surprise everyone by keeping Harrison Ford awake for the entire runtime.
Oh, come on. That's not a prediction.
Have you seen him in any movie in the past 10 years, DJ?
We're about to. He's going to be in the fucking Marvel stuff now. He's
he's Ross.
He's the new guy. Hot new Hollywood kid.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
My prediction is we're going to watch that movie, and at no point will we think Harrison Ford's really phoning this in.
Interesting. I'd love to see the trailer and see if I could already find those scenes, but
they can edit those out of the final cut of the movie,
That's true, yeah. And they can deep fake a more exciting performance onto him.
True. But yeah.
This is a crazy prediction. This is crazier than mine.
So I'm saying, this is maybe the craziest prediction I've ever made. Harrison Ford will not be phoning it in. And not in a single scene.
Wow. I want to snap on that one too. Give me 8 cubes. Let's go.
I think it depends. How much money does he get? If he gets a lot of money, he might not phone it in.
He's very financially invested in Indiana Jones.
So that's my only thing with him and some of these performances. Like, I think as General Ross might be a little sleepwalky, but I think he's got enough skin in the game that Indiana Jones might be. And I think he's so tied up in that, and he seems to care about it more, that I think he might take it seriously.
That's why I'm making the prediction.
It's not a terrible prediction.
Well, that's bold, sir. That's bold.
All right.
What about you, Nando? What, you got one of these?
Yeah. I don't know how nuclear mine is, but the closer we get to it, and I have no new information, I've thought this for a little while, and I continue to think it. Wonka Origins will surprise everyone by being one of the best movies of the year. I think.
Wow.
I think Little Timothy Chalamet will be Wonka. It's by the Paddington team. They just took the whole Paddington team and just put them in this movie. Like, it's the writers, most of the actors, the director, and Timothy Chalamet.
Paddington is actually the second main character.
It could be. I mean, I think it would have to take place in the past. So maybe Uncle Bastuzo or something will have a cameo. But I just think I don't know. I think I trust this guy more, Paul King, more than maybe anybody else working right now, as just someone that's going to turn out a movie that's going to be pretty good. And I don't think, like a lot of people do, there's anything inherently bad about this premise. I think it's going to be hard to live up to Gene Wilder, but I think the mistake last time was doing what they did, where they
cast Johnny Depp.
Well, yeah, that was a big mistake. But where they made the movie about this, made the same movie. I think if you do an origin like they're doing, you can get away with making a movie that's a little bit similar, but leaves space for the Gene Wilder performance to continue to exist. I also just think Timothy Chalamet is a very good actor, and yeah, I mean Olivia Colman, Sally Hawkins is a pretty solid pretty solid cast. And honestly, when I think about this movie, I'm just like kind of excited to see what it will be, you know? It might be an insane movie where the hero is a slave owner at the end, too. Like, that could also happen. I don't know.
Hey, he pays them in beans.
Whatever. But assuming that that's not how it ends, I think it will be pretty cool. Apparently, too, this was either going to be Timothée Chalamet or Tom Holland. So I think this means we're living in the good universe. Like, this is
at least as far as Wonka movies go.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. 2023, you guys, will be the year of blank. Who goes first?
Does Nando go
All right,
first?
I'll go first.
Nando goes first.
I've had this one for a little while. Guys, I think 2023 will be the year of doing a good one this time. We have a lot of movies coming out that are a sequel or spiritual sequel or another shot at a franchise that has sucked. And I think a lot of the movies we have lined up could be pretty good. Wonka's a good example. The last movie we had Willy Wonka in sucked. I mean, it's interesting. Some people like it, but I don't think it's very good. But I think this one could be good. Ant-Man, always the low watermark on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This one is different. It could be good. It could be the best. I'm sure it will be the best one, probably. But, like, I think there's a shot that this one may be really good. The Dungeons & Dragons movie is coming out this year. They made a really, really bad Dungeons & Dragons movie back in the 2000s with one of the Wayans brothers and Jeremy Irons. This one might be the good one. They're making another Transformers movie with the Beast Wars guys. And from the trailer, at least, it seems like this one's going to recapture perhaps the magic of the original Transformers movie, which I think is pretty good. You've also got Super Mario coming out this year. I think will be good. Indiana Jones, following the fourth one nobody liked, I think will be good. And the real weird one, I think the Flash movie, if it comes out this year, is going to be pretty good. I think people will like it.
That's crazy talk.
Again, this is something I've been hearing for so long, and it just, none of the rest of this makes sense with them delaying it. I don't think they had already decided to delay it before all of the Ezra-ing, I believe. So it led you to believe they're not canceling it. They've got something that they're holding on to that they want to release in theaters. Now, I don't think it will save the DCEU or anything, but I think it will be a good movie, and it'll be a good, like, movie starring The Flash, which we've yet to see, depending on how you feel about the Snyder cut. But yeah, I think 2023 will be the year of doing a good one this time.
Wow. Hey,
what
Nando,
about you?
You missed an important sequel to a bad movie coming out this year, or next year, which is that there's going to be a new Shazam movie.
No. The
Yeah,
Shazam one is good. Shazam one is a good one this time and last time. Doing a good one again. I'm surprised that wasn't anybody's bomb of the year, honestly. I was toying with that if it wasn't for Craven. But yeah, I feel like, and there's a couple other things that you could kind of fit into this bucket, but those seven, Ant-Man 3, Dungeons & Dragons, Transformers, Beast Wars, Super Mario, Indiana Jones, Flash, and Wonka, are all going to be not just good, but like clear steps up from their predecessors. What about you, DJ? Do you have anything about 2023?
I need Diggins to go because you kind of stole mine.
Oh.
It was going to be like doing a good one again. This time it was going to be like nostalgia's back in a great way for all the reasons you said. You also got like Barbie, and there's a Turtles movie coming out. So
right, because nostalgia's been having such a rough time of things this past 20 years.
Yeah, mine is specifically like
good
zombie movies, where we're taking movies that are dead and reanimating them in a way that it is new and different. But yeah, Diggins, what do you have?
What do I have? What a great question. Some of the finest philosophers of our age have pondered the question of what I have.
I mean, you could just pick one movie or one person. That's also acceptable.
That's true. I could do that because I know people who are going to be in multiple movies this year or multiple TV shows. It could be one person in one movie. Who could say?
Timmy Chalamet is in Wonka and Dune.
That's true.
Who else?
Here, I you know what? I'm gonna go out with one.
All right.
If we're good, yeah. No, I got one. All right, ready? 2023 is going to be the Harrison Ford Assance.
Ah, okay.
He's back, baby.
He is back. I mean,
so I understand that, Diggins is saying that he'll surprise being a whole week for a whole movie. I'm thinking a step further. We're going to be like Harrison Ford. We need this guy in more movies. What are we doing? He's such a great untapped talent. He's Indiana Jones. He's Thunderbolt Ross. We need more Harrison Ford. He's back, baby. Every year there's an Assance. I don't know if we said who the 2022 Assance was, but I think 2023 will be the Harrison Ford Assance.
Yeah, I think 2022 is almost a Brendan Assance, and it still kind of is. But because of Batgirl, I don't think it got to live up to its full Brendan Assance glory. And I couldn't think of too many other actors or directors or people that had such a, I don't know. Anybody else you think kind of came back this year that everybody was like, oh, love them, they're so cool. I feel like there's one in my head that I cannot. Who's the person? I don't know. What's that lady? The white lady from White Lotus? Her. Jennifer Coolidge. Can this be the Jennifer Coolidge Renaissance?
Or what about Aubrey Plaza? I feel like she kind of had a year.
I thought about that, but she's not in that much stuff, and she's I don't think she ever went anywhere. I feel like she's been about as popular as she is now for a while. But yeah, I think also to your point, Harrison Ford is in that show Shrinking, that new show about what if a shrink yelled at everyone, which is probably going to be good. And
it's gonna be his speed.
Yeah, exactly. It's him yelling at people. It isn't and he's in that Yellowstone prequel that people say is pretty good.
Yes,
and that will stretch into next year. So, and the Captain America trailer will probably be out. So maybe he'll even be cameoing in fucking Marvels or something. I don't know. He'll call Nick Fury on his cell phone and be like, "I'm still in these. Give me some cash, Nick Fury." I technically made $5 million today, but yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, I'm hitching my wagon to Diggins a bit, which I think is fine. But yeah, I think we're gonna get the Ford Assance.
I'd love that.
Okay,
I would love that too, because I would love to see what I think would really make it the Ford Assance for me, besides or the Harrison Assance. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. The Han Assance maybe Han Solo, but
okay, yeah.
What would really make it the Renaissance for me is if not only was Harrison Ford able to make this Indiana Jones movie work, but he was able to make it work so much that we got that fucking short round prequel or a sequel starring, what's his name from
Ke Huy Quan.
Ke Huy Quan, yeah. Even if he's not in it, because I think he said he seems to really believe that he'll be done with these. But if his movie is able to materialize that movie we all want, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
All right, Diggins, do you have one?
I do.
Right.
I think that 2022 is going to be
23.
2023.
Excuse
me.
No, you're not going to sneak by doing the year we're in. That would be good, clever, but too late.
That would be crazy. But no. I think 2023 is going to be the year of the actor turned director.
Oh, okay. I like this.
Explaining yourself, sir.
I have at least 3 examples.
Okay.
All right.
In chronological order. Guys, we've all seen the trailer. We've all been like, that movie might be a disaster, but it also might be really fun. And we're holding our breath to see what side of the coin comes up. Guys, Cocaine Bear is next year.
Yeah,
I actually have not seen the trailer for that. I'm trying to kind of stay away from it. Yeah, because I know I'm going to see it. I know what it is. And I feel like this is only going to work if it's shocking in the moment.
Sure, fair.
But yeah, that
Cocaine
is a movie.
Bear's coming out, and it's directed by Elizabeth Banks. Most known for her acting. I'm not sure if she's in it, but she's directing it. And you know what? That looks like it could be a really fun movie. So there's 1. 2.
Yeah.
Creed 3 is coming out this year.
Yes.
Not directed by Ryan Coogler this time. Instead, Michael B. Jordan is taking his first crack behind the director's chair to direct and star in this one. And I think it has a really interesting premise on a friend from his checkered past kind of coming back and taking advantage of him to become his own boxing superstar, and then they face off against each other. Could be a good movie. And we get a chance to see how Michael B. Jordan, who's already just a phenomenal star.
Yeah.
You get to see what his chops are behind the director's chair. And then, besides that, guys, the movie we're all looking forward to, Barbie's coming out. Greta Gerwig started as an actor. She's directed a couple times now, so she's a proven asset. But I didn't say the new actor turned director. I said actor turned director. And I think if we get 3 great movies, all by directors who are primarily known as actors, I think that's a pretty big success. There's also a Bradley Cooper movie coming out this year, but I don't know a lot about it. It might not even come out this year, so I'm not going to hitch my star to that wagon.
Yeah. I think there's something there. I'd have to see. I honestly think there's another one that I'm forgetting. There's some celebrity who I saw in an interview that was talking about a movie they're directing. And I was like, that sounds kind of interesting. But I don't remember what it is.
Is it Bradley Cooper?
No, God, no. Not God, no. I mean, and he's one of those guys who, like, he's done, like, that Lady Gaga movie I still haven't seen.
Yeah, he did A Star Is Born.
Yeah, and what's her name did, Charlie's Angels. So, like, it's been proven that these people know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Michael B. Jordan is the only one I mentioned who is totally new, has never done it before.
Yeah, and I think that is good. I feel like, you know what it is? Where a lot of these people come from is TV is where a lot of these guys end up. So, like, is Ben Stiller directing Severance this year? I don't think it's going to come out this year, but, like, I feel like what ends up happening is, like, what's his name? The Jeremy Strong will decide to direct one episode of Succession or something, and he'll get to do that. And then it'll be like, oh, he's so good. So I feel like there's a chance that a lot of those will happen. I'm surprised Keanu isn't directing a John Wick movie yet, honestly. Like, that just seems like the kind of shit he would do.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. Just like...
Although I feel like he wants to be, like, fucking in it.
Yeah.
Like, he just probably loves it so goddamn much.
That's a good point. And he's, he has not failed us yet.
Yep.
But interesting. I'm surprised neither of you said this is the year of Jonathan Majors, because I do think he's going to come out of this year real big with Ant-Man and Creed and this other bodybuilder movie he's doing. And being, like, I guess you could say, if anything, you'd want to save it for when he's the Thanos in, like, a year. But I think he's going to have quite a
you want to
year.
get early on the train. Okay.
Yeah. And I did look at this, trying to find other actors who are kind of crossing between things. And there's not a ton of them. But, yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest one. So, Roger, your work cut out for you.
Thank you for everything you do.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? We'll check back in a year.
Yeah, as we always do, right?
I feel good about these. I probably felt good about last year's, so that doesn't mean anything.
We feel good every year. We don't go into it being like, oh, I don't know, shaky ground. We're all like, yeah, our predictions are awesome.
Yeah. What do we want to do now? You guys want to get to your classic segment?
Yeah, I would love to get to our classic segment.
Right. DJ, you want to recommend some things?
Yeah, I got something to recommend. The Netflix algorithm continues to figure out my love of documentaries and recommended one for me, so I decided to watch it because I can't help myself. I don't know how old this is. I mean, it came out this year. But did either of you guys see Eat the Rich, the GameStop saga?
No. Is that the first one of these?
Yeah, right. It's probably the one that's like, looks like it came out in like October, so I'm a couple months late, but whatever. But yes, this is about the, early 2021, GameStop, meme stock going to the moon, and the whole deal with, Robinhood and, allowing for retail trading, and then how they stopped the buying, and about, the guy Deep Fucking Value, how the conspiracy theory of maybe he pumped the stock. They got a lot of like players involved, like a lot of the hedge fund guys. Jim Cramer, who like I have mixed feelings on, but like I don't know, interviewing him and getting his take about like I had like a lot of back surgery and I woke up and GameStop stock was like as high as it ever been, and I was like, what the fuck happened? it was interesting to hear like different people's perspectives. I think it's a good recounting. It's not too long. It's like 3 episodes that are about 30 to 40 minutes each. So you're running just over 90 minutes. But like it's like one of those, it's like too cute by half, where it's like, oh, there's way too many emojis to explain shit. But it was just like, oh, we gotta get the millennials and Gen Zers to watch it, so blah blah blah. But like Taylor Lorenz is in it. So, you know, they got a lot of like the, you know, people who you might, well, I don't know, at least might know from the tech sector. But I thought it was done like well, and I think it was like a good recounting, and like it, like for anyone who like really followed it, you probably know everything in here, but I only know like the high points of it, and I did learn stuff watching this. But like Nando, you might watch it and be like, yes, I already knew all of these things. There's nothing new here for me, but I still thought it was pretty good and interesting.
That's what happens when I
like,
watch anything.
90-minute
you know,
documentary.
there's only so many things that could surprise me because I know everything.
Understandable. But yeah, I thought it was good enough, and like definitely would recommend it. I thought it was better than the Pepsi one, like, and it was shorter. Like, it felt like this one too, like, could have been cut shorter, but at least it like didn't go too long. Whereas I think the Pepsi one went way too long.
And this one also had a bald, fast-talking TV huckster man, so that's pretty good. You know,
that's
Jim
true.
Cramer,
Yeah,
Michael Avenatti, they're pretty similar.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it enough. Yeah. So it's called Eat the Rich, the GameStop Saga.
Nice. Diggins, what about you? Do you have anything to recommend to the fine people?
I do have some recs, actually, yes. So I've watched a couple of movies since last we met. One is 3 Wishes for Cinderella, which is a Czech Christmas movie. It's not exactly a Christmas movie. It's just kind of wintry, but it's a Czech tradition to watch this movie around Christmas time since it was made in the 70s. It's obviously an adaptation of Cinderella. I think one of the better versions of that tale I've seen, I think. It gives a little more personality to the prince. He likes to hang with his bros. And the main actress who plays Cinderella is also very charming. So it's just a nice little movie for watch around Christmas time. I also watched My Man Godfrey, which is an old screwball comedy from, back in the 30s. It's got that very like zipping dialogue, back and forth, people with witty rejoinders that I think is really fun about screwball comedies. And it's one of the more famous ones. So it's a very funny. It's like a man who's just like down and out during the Great Depression gets hired by this family to be their new butler because of a series of wacky circumstances. And it's sort of about him dealing with this completely loony rich family, sort of in keeping with some of the stuff we had before, although ultimately a little lighter on the rich people than movies made in 2022. But yeah, those are my recs. Nando, do you have anything to rec?
Wow, cool stuff. All right.
Awesome.
DJ, here's my recommendation.
Yeah, I'd love to hear
both
your
of you.
recommendation.
Because they're both here.
Oh, good. Yeah, totally.
I would like to recommend. So I watched a couple things actually not that many new things. I've been watching a lot of stuff I've already recommended. I recommended Southside the other day. Catching up on that. I'm almost caught up. Like Sherman Showcase, both the things by that same guy. But the one thing I watched that is new that I cannot recommend enough is the Matilda movie. That is the movie by play. Actual movie. And
nice.
Yeah, I think we talked about this. Wait, so DJ, have you seen Matilda?
I've never seen it. I am familiar with it, but have not seen it.
Yeah, same. I had not, and I like him. Tim Minchin. I think he's a fun director. And writer, because I love Groundhog's Day and I like some of his comedy. So I should have seen it. I was foolish to not.
Okay.
But I think, and me and Hannah watched it, whatever it was, maybe Christmas night, because it came out on Christmas, and or no, it was the next night, or next day, and I remember in the beginning I was like, so do you like Matilda? What are your thoughts on Matilda? And she's like, I don't really have any strong feelings about Matilda, and I was like, oh, damn it, I feel a lot of liking this depends on liking Matilda, and then by the end she was like, it was great. Because
nice.
It's really good. Like, the story of Matilda is interesting, and it's just like it's such a fun, energetic production with such crazy sets and crazy like choreography, and it's hard. It would be hard for me not to enjoy it. Like, not hard for me not to enjoy it, but I think it'd be hard for someone not to at least get a little caught up in it, because it's super fun. Sometimes it's hard to listen to the kids. Like, it's just hard to hear them speak all their lines because they all sound like they all have high-pitched voices. Yeah. But by the end, I think most of the songs, I noticed this, I didn't figure this out immediately, most of the songs have some like bit that repeats, or like a lot of the verses, if you don't get them, they will come around again. And some of them are designed to do that, and they work that way. Like, I think that works for them. So I would say there's a good chance that, like, if you didn't hear something the first time, you'll get it the second time. But okay. Yeah, I just also think it's a really fun show. And I wish I'd seen it live, because it's very good. And yeah, you can watch that on Netflix. And what's her name? Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson? Is that the one? Yeah, right? Watson's the Harry Potter one. So Emma Thompson.
Okay, yeah.
She should get at least a Golden Globe nomination in musical comedy for her role as Trunchbull, the big giant lady with who runs the school. Because she is hilarious, and she's great at like doing all the, physical comedy and stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, like, I think usually in the play that role is performed by a guy in drag, because they need someone who's just really big to be this person. And what they chose to do, I think, was give her a lot of like prosthetics, I guess. Not like prosthetics, but like they really bulked up her like jacket, and to give her a big wide frame. Okay. And they put her on some platform sometimes, like platform shoes, and it works. It's like something you can get away with on film. But I thought that was great. The other recommendation I forgot about as I was saying it was I watched Glass Onion, Knives Out Mystery the other day. Also great. I think everybody that is listening to this is probably on board with that, or like interested. And I thought it was pretty cool because of it. I don't want to give too much away, but I enjoyed a lot of the performances, and I think it was just a very well like made, pretty movie. Like, it's another one like White Lotus, where it's just like, this movie may as well have been designed by Target to sell TVs, because it makes wherever they are, Greece, it's really beautiful. All the colors are stunning. So I had a really good time.
It's too bad. It's too bad we don't have anyone on the podcast who's like really into Rian Johnson and like really appreciates what he does and could talk more to the Rian Johnson of it all, because just the three of us, we don't really care for Rian Johnson. Yeah, right, Nando, right, Diggins?
Well, I think here's the thing. I like Knives Out 1, but I think we're all in agreement about this. The Star Wars movie, I don't know about that. I think it made a lot of mistakes.
No. And all Rian Johnson's fault, those mistakes.
Him and Kathleen Kennedy, mostly. And that's the consensus view as far as we're concerned. So definitely add us. Besides that, what are we doing next week? Do we have any idea what we're doing in next week?
Well, it's not Mathregan, unfortunately. We got to wait another week for that one. So
good things come to those who wait. And
I don't know. There is movie debt we could pay off.
We didn't.
If we want to give power to the people, we could put out a Twitter poll. That's power to the people.
That would be a level of democracy, and we could abide by it, which would be unusual.
Oh, we would do who would ever not listen to a Twitter poll?
Yeah, what kind of monster?
I mean, only monsters. Yeah,
I would say
no one here.
We could do that. We could also we didn't do any Q&A stuff today. We didn't have time. It took us longer than we expected. So we could do that. We'll we could decide, I guess, over the course of the week and see what we feel like.
Yeah, I would say pay attention to social, everyone who's listening, assuming it's still up and hasn't died.
Yep, it may die.
We're going to have to figure out if, like, your right in Twitter does die. We'll have to figure out, Because we talk with a lot of our listeners via Twitter.
That's
so that would
true.
actually be very sad for us if it did die.
Yeah, and I will not talk to anyone on Mastodon. That's for damn sure. I will.
Maybe Instagram. I don't know. I don't know if that works.
Yeah, I could see Instagram. If Twitter just died, like, or if it was like, if Twitter was dying and Instagram just went, text posts are things now too, I think they would immediately take over
That would be
Twitter.
smart.
Like,
That would be smart as fuck.
come on, Zuck. Use that like undercutting brain of yours that you use to destroy Snapchat and destroy Twitter, please. But yeah, so keep an eye on that. Before that, do we have anything to plug, DJ?
Just Roses and Rejections. We're covering The Circle Season 5. And we also had our year-end review podcast where we talked about all of the biggest reality TV moments from 2022 and all the shows we watched. Which when I listened to that, it was a lot. We watched a lot of reality TV in 2022. But yeah, check out that for coverage of The Circle. The Circle singles. It's just The Circle, and they're all single. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
they're all single.
Are they going to pretend to date each other, but then not, or something?
Yeah, probably. That's how this goes usually.
Worked so well so far.
Yeah.
Cool.
Diggins, any plugs?
Yeah, Diggins, do you have anything to plug for the fine people?
I do. Just my usual stuff. I have my newsletter, alittleperspective.substack.com, and I stream sometimes at twitch.tv/thisisanodname. Nando, do you have anything?
Okay.
That's great.
If you say so. I would like to plug...
And Nando, what about you?
Videos. I have 2 videos. Yeah, I have 2 videos that'll be out soon. One of them will be on YouTube. It's the Man of Steel 2 pitch, which has been drastically altered to be not just a Man of Steel 2 pitch, because that movie is not that anymore. It is some sort of Superman something or other. So, like some sort of reboot. So I kind of had to make a little change. But that'll be up on the YouTube feed soon. And then on Nebula, I'll have my next video, which is kind of like, it's not hard to explain. It's just me talking about, like, what is the deal? The Thor movie, it's not perfect, obviously. But, like, one of the things that I found so strange about it is, like, what it thinks the gods are. And, like, how the movie kind of loses track of that. And then I think the whole thing is worse for it. Like, having no idea what makes something a god or not a god it makes it really hard to track this arc of, is Thor a good god and is Gore right to kill all the gods? But so
okay,
it's just kind of examining that, trying to figure out, where did the things go wrong, and why? Because I think there's a reason that I think makes a lot of sense when you think about who is writing the movie. So, yeah.
Okay.
That'll be on Nebula probably before this podcast goes out, honestly. Like, really working on the finishing touches right now. So, yeah. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. All that to everybody. And we will see you in the new year. I've been at Nando View Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
I'm at This Is an Odd Man.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye. Peace.
Goodbye. We love you.